from Comiskey Park. Welcome to American League Baseball, both today and yesterday. Today, the White Sox host the Milwaukee Brewers. Well, yesterday, we're going back in time to 1917. We're going to play a Major League Baseball game the way it was played in as close proximity as we possibly can to the standards used in 1917. And good afternoon, everyone. Jim Durham with the best dressed man in 1917, Tom Pashorek. You're looking good.
Thank you. You don't look too bad yourself, James.
You could have probably played in 1917.
No, I couldn't. Can't play today, can't play then.
I'll tell you what, this is really fun because not only do the White Sox have a capacity crowd on hand today, but the festiveness, the attitude of the fans, they've really taken to the spirit of the occasion.
Oh, I think it's absolutely super. What Rob Gallis has done is really a brainstorm, Jim. I think it's innovative. People just love it. And we've got a full house here today. And the Sox are playing good. And they're playing a pretty good Milwaukee Brewer team as well.
The White Sox were in first place in 1917. They won a World's Championship in 1917. In 1990, the White Sox start the second half of the season just one game behind the defending world champion Oakland A's in the American League West. Today's batting order and the defensive alignment in a moment. Sox baseball on Channel 9. The White Sox are brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's Miller Lite, less filling really tastes great. By the good guys at Sandy McKee and Sons in Fox Lake, where it's Advantage Dodge. The Chicago Tribune. Get in the game. Pick up a Trib. Coca-Cola Classic. Can't beat the real thing. True Value Hardware. For quality selection and personal attention, make True Value Hardware your store of first choice. By Hyundai and your Chicagoland Hyundai dealers. Test drive a new XL or Sonata today. By Phillips 66 Super Clean Premium Unleaded Gasoline. Pump up to performance power from Phillips 66. And by Southwest Airlines, offering everyday low fares and convenient flights to both Detroit Metro and Detroit City airports. Well, as you can see, a big crowd gathering here at Comiskey Park for a very special afternoon as we present Major League Baseball as close to the way it was played in 1917 as possible. Here's the Milwaukee batting order today. Leading off for the Brewers, second baseman Jim Gantner. Gary Sheffield playing third. Robin Yount is in center field. The designated hitter, Dave Parker, hitting cleanup. Greg Brock is at first base. Greg Vaughn is in left. B.J. Surhoff, the Milwaukee catcher. Darrell Hamilton is in right. Bill Spires, the shortstop. And that's the lineup for the Brewers.
And defensively for the White Sox, they will line up this way. Steve Lyons will play left field. Danny Pascal was a late scratch. Lance Johnson is the center fielder. Sammy Sosa is in right field. In the infield, it's Robin Ventura at third. Ozzie Guillen is in his familiar shortstop position. Scotty Fletcher at second base. Ron Kittle returns to first base this afternoon. The battery of Jack McDowell and veteran catcher Carlton Fisk. The White Sox have just taken the field here at Comiskey Park, and you can see those 1917 uniforms on display in the dugout. And of course, there's Ozzie. Ozzie going with that short brim cap. I think if the sun comes out a little bit later, they may go with the longer ones. There were two options. Two different hats that were given to the players today. And there you see the uniform. And there's Jack McDowell. The big right-hander. His record 5-4 on the season. He's .409 is his earned run average in 16 ball games. Jack has one complete game to his credit. He has worked 88 innings, given up 85 hits, 44 runs, walking 36, while striking out 81, showing that he does have that strikeout pitch. When his fastball is working for him, he can get you out. 250 is what the American League is hitting against Jack McDowell. There we see the men in blue. And the crew for this ball game at home plate, Rich Garcia, he's the crew chief. Mike Riley is at first base. Second base, Chuck Merriweather. And at third, Mark Johnston. So there you see it. A lot of banners here this afternoon. We've got almost a full house so far, and I'm sure they will be coming in as this game starts. Doing the little things. That's the White Sox motto here in 1990, and they have done it great. Back to the Future, 1917. You saw that last flag. And McDowell taking his warm-up tosses. Did not do very well in his last start. That was against Detroit. He worked 5 innings, and he gave up 6 runs in that last ball game. But the key for Jack this afternoon is to have control of that fastball. He's a power pitcher. And
there's Gene Honda. And that's the way the lineups were called back in 1917. Boy, a guy could run out of voice in no time, right, Tom?
Yeah, he really could. Yeah, Gene was screaming them out. Of course, there will be no scoreboards used this afternoon.
But there will be lights, apparently.
Obviously, yeah.
The lights are coming on. It's an overcast day in Chicago. And so this game will be played under the lights. There you see the scoreboard that will be manually operated in center field. As Tom mentioned, no electronics as far as the scoreboard or the information board is concerned. I didn't get word on what happens on a home run, though. Do they still set off the scoreboard if a White Sox player hits a home run?
I don't think they did it in 1917 when Shoeless Joe Jackson hit one. I don't think they had any fireworks back then, so I'm sure they won't have any this afternoon.
Well, in 1917, the White Sox led the Red Sox by a half game. The Cleveland Indians were 7 out, the Yankees 7.5, Detroit Tigers 9 out. And look, the Philadelphia A's were in last place. The Oakland A's are in first place in 1990, 1 game ahead of the White Sox in the American League West. Gantner is in the batter's box, and we're set with the first pitch from Jack McDowell. Stays high, ball 1. Tom mentioned Shoeless Joe. Yeah, Joe Jackson. He was with that 1917 team. Strike called. I don't think we'll see him coming out of the left field wall today, but I tell you what, Tom, as we have said so often, if you win, they will come. And they are here today. A near capacity crowd. Jack McDowell working to Jim Gantner, the Milwaukee leadoff man. And of course, in 1917, there were no Milwaukee Brewers. The White Sox in recent years have handled the Milwaukee Brewers very well. Fouled off to the left. Count is even, 2-2 to Gantner.
Well, the White Sox have won both meetings so far this year against the Brew Crew and won 10 of 12 last year. So we're looking at a 12 out of 14, including the last 6 ball games. There you see Jim Gantner's been hot lately.
Breaking ball stays high and wide. Full count. The White Sox wrapping up what is a 10-game homestand. And Jack McDowell on July 4th worked against the Tigers, got no decision in a game won by Detroit. Gantner lifts a fly ball into shallow left center. Lance Johnson is there, and there's 1 out. The wind is blowing straight in today, right over the center field wall.
So it's one of those days where you could pitch upstairs and get some outs that way. You can let them hit the ball as far as they can, the left center and right center field. It's going to be tough to hit the ball out of the ballpark. It's pretty much the conditions we've seen most of the year, Jim.
Except it is very cool today. It's cool even by Chicago standards here in July. Gary Sheffield, a swing and a miss. Boy, what a season he has put together so far.
He really has. He's reaching that potential, and I'm not going to say finally because he's still a very young man. Great talent. I'll tell you, he's got a very unusual hitting stance, as you can see. Very close.
He hits a fly ball into left center. Lance Johnson is there for this one. Two down for Milwaukee, and that will bring up Robin Yount. Robin Yount hitting .239. 7 homers, 36 runs batted in. Last year's American League MVP.
It is really hard to believe that Robin Yount has those numbers right now. But if he puts a charge into the second half of the season, he's really the key to this ball club. He and Molitor coming back.
That's right.
They could still contend. You
know, besides the impressive offensive numbers of Gary Sheffield, there their acquisition in the offseason, Dave Parker, has had an outstanding season for them.
Yeah, he's been great.
Swing and a miss, and McDowell did pitch upstairs, and he got it by Yount. Strike one with 2 outs.
Well,
there's Don Baylor. He's running the show for Milwaukee while Tom Trebelhorn finishes out his suspension. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. You know, we saw those standings of the 1917 American League at this stage of the season. The White Sox had a half-game lead on the Red Sox. Yount hits that one foul off to the right. 8 club leagues in those days. 8 in the American League and 8 in the National League.
Well, look at Terry Bevington. He looks like he's right out of that era, doesn't he?
Yep. This is great. And you know what's also great about this, Tom, is the fact that when Rob Gallas came up with the idea, the American League, the Major League Baseball gave them their wholehearted approval. Do it. Have some fun. Ozzie Guillen can't come up with that one. Robin Yount with a base hit.
Well, Robin Yount right here hits a pretty darn good split finger pitch from Jack McDowell after Jack threw 2 fastballs right by him upstairs. There you can see it. He's fooled by the pitch, but still gets the head of the bat out. What was the key right there is that Robin kept his hands back. And Ozzie can't catch up with it, so there's a runner at first for the very dangerous Dave Parker. Look at those numbers. 315, 11 homers, and 56 RBIs.
Those 56 RBI rank him 5th in the American League. He's only 19 behind the league leader, though. Cecil Fielder. Yount the runner. Pitch inside and low. This Milwaukee club, you have to pay attention because they are on the move often. They lead the American League in stolen bases as a team. They've got 82. There you see the American League RBI leaders. Parker fouls it off. 1-1.
Well, they're hitting .262 as a team, the Brewers are, and as you said, Jim, they are very aggressive on the base pass.
Although
Robin
here
Yount.
with Parker up there and 2 outs, he'll probably stay put. Gives Dave Parker that hole over there on the right side.
Yeah, one of the advantages, but when you're having trouble scoring runs, you want to get in scoring position. There he goes.
So he takes off, and Parker fouls it. Jack McDowell working with 2 outs, a man on, and a ball and 2 strikes on Dave Parker. The Cobra. You suppose anybody as big as Dave Parker was playing in 1917?
No. There weren't guys playing football as big as Dave Parker.
Yount goes again. The pitch upstairs. The throw is too late. Stolen base for Robin Yount. Ozzie Guillen may be injured here.
Well, take a look at it. It's a fastball up and in. That's where you want to pitch Parker, by the way. And the throw. Geez, Ozzie fell. He really got tangled up right there. It didn't make. The ball may have hit him in the leg, or maybe it hit off his glove. It looked like he may have pulled something. He's going to stay in there naturally. Ozzie's very tough, but that's the 8th stolen base for Robin Yount. Now with Dave Parker up there, this is where you want to pitch him. You got to tie him up inside. He gets those big arms extended, and he will kill you. Up and in is the way to go. There you see he's having a good year on the road at 325. Well, he's a strong-looking guy, isn't he?
Yeah. Here's the 2-2 from McDowell. There's a drive into right, but it's going to hold up there, and Sosu first went back, comes in for the grab. 3 fly ball outs. And the Brewers are retired. No runs, a hit, 1 left. The White Sox come to bat in the bottom of the 1st in a scoreless game. Well, quickly, let's go through the White Sox batting order. Lance Johnson in the leadoff spot. Robin Ventura batting second, playing at third. And then Ivan Calderon is at left. Ron Kittle hitting cleanup. Carlton Fisk bats fifth. Steve Lyons is in left field. Scott Fletcher, Sammy Sosa, and Ozzie Guillen rounded out against the right-hander for the Milwaukee Brewers, Ron Robinson.
And defensively, Vaughn, Yount, and Hamilton, the outfield. Sheffield, Spires, Gantner, Brock around the horn. The battery this afternoon, Ron Robinson and B.J. Surhoff. I'll tell you one thing, the Brewers, they may not have the most effective pitching staff in the American League, but they are the biggest. Look at Robinson. He's 6'4", 235, Jim.
Yeah.
He's not an overpowering pitcher. 2-0 is the count to Lance Johnson here.
First time, of course, the White Sox have faced him, coming over to the Brewers in June in a deal that involved Glenn Braggs going to Cincinnati. Here's a 2-1 delivery. Johnson hits it hard into left field, and it drops. Good pickup by Vaughn. Johnson's trying for second. He'll make it easily. A leadoff double for Lance Johnson.
All right. Great start here for the Sox with Lance Johnson getting the fastball. You see it's up. Lance, a good high ball hitter, and he lines it down the line. Now there's Vaughn going over there and loses his footing. He's wearing high-top baseball shoes to begin with, so he must have some ankle problems. Lance in there easily to second base with a double, and he might want to stay with that uniform for the next 100 years or so. Number 11 for Lance on the season, and Robin Ventura. His job right here, pull that ball. Get that runner to third base with less than 2 outs, because this is pointing to a pitcher's afternoon so far, Jim, with that wind blowing in. Got to manufacture it today.
Here's the pitch. Foul back. Ventura hitting .228. Ron Robinson, 28 years old. He's not the power pitcher he once was. He had severe elbow injury in 1988. Knocked him out of action. He returned from that injury, in fact, about a year ago, in July of '89. He's pitched some in relief in his career. That pitch is inside. There you see his numbers with the Brewers. Mighty impressive earned run average. This is his 6th start. He has 1 complete game. He's given up about a hit an inning, 15 strikeouts and 12 walks. Control is the big key with him. And Ventura lifts a high drive to left. Vaughn backs up for the catch, and Lance Johnson bluffed going to third.
Well, that's not a good enough effort right there by Robin to pull the ball. He was ahead in the count right there, and going the opposite way is what you don't want right there. If you can't pull the ball, you should be able to bunt it. There you see the swing. He doesn't make contact out in front of the plate. Ball's kind of behind him. You want to pull the ball. If you're a left-handed hitter, you got to, well, the thing to do is actually to move a little bit closer to the plate, a little bit deeper in the batter's box, and get the head of the bat out. So the Sox fail right there to execute. So Calderon, the hitter, will have to drive him in with a base hit.
Calderon, the designated hitter today. Gantner comes in to shorten that lead of Lance Johnson, but no throw. Breaking ball swung on. Strike 1 to Calderon. Ron Kittle in the on deck circle. I'll tell you what, Tom, from a White Sox standpoint, that they're going to have to overcome today, and that is playing without a real hot left-handed bat in Dan Pasqua.
Well, that's true. Danny became ill shortly before the game. He's certainly been the hottest hitter in the Sox lineup, but they'll just have to play around it. Calderon's back, though.
He lines the ball over the shortstop's head. Lance Johnson will score, and the White Sox have the lead. Calderon delivers.
And Jeff Torborg and the White Sox were hoping that those couple days off, plus the All-Star break, was going to do Ivan Calderon some good because he had been pretty much beaten up. There you see the curveball, not that bad of a pitch. Robinson probably would have liked it a little lower than that. But Calderon gets the head of the bat on the ball just good enough. And of course, Lance Johnson with that good speed scores easily from second base. So the Sox lead at 1-0. Good clutch hitting there. That's a way to pick up your teammate right there.
And Kittle fouls off the first pitch.
I'll tell you what, I'm just noticing those batting helmets that the White Sox are wearing this afternoon, Jim, and they are outstanding looking.
I like them.
Oh, I guess they just brought in a new batch for this ball game, but I love that insignia. The big S with the O and the X in the middle of it. Those are just outstanding.
Yep.
I love that uniform.
Kittle waiting. Swing and a miss. 2 strikes on him. Kittle against the Brewers in his career. He's in double figures in home runs. Calderon, the runner at first. And Kittle with a line drive. Base hit over Gantner's head. Calderon being waved around to third. And the White Sox are having their way so far with Ron Robinson.
And a great job of base running by Calderon. He wasn't sure that Gantner was going to make the play, so he has to stop between first and second as to avoid a double play right there. There's the pitch, a fastball down and away. Kitty gets the head of the bat, and watch right there. Now see, the ball is going to stop in that outfield grass, and Calderon knows that. I'll tell you, Calderon is one of the better base runners in the American League. As you can see, he scoots into third base easily. So now runners at the corners with only 1 out for Pudge. Yeah.
So the big crowd at Comiskey Park revving up as the White Sox have taken the lead. 3 hits in the inning. And the ball that was hit for an out, Ventura was hit well. He flied out deep to left. Breaking ball outside to Carlton Fisk. 1-0.
Robinson has 4 pitches, a fastball, curveball, slider, and changeup. And as Jim mentioned earlier, he's got to be pinpoint with his control because he's no longer overpowering.
Again, the breaking ball, it's foul.
Could have used that one. You can see he throws a big breaking curveball. That one broke about a foot right there. Really tough to wait back on a pitch like that. If he gets in the right location, it's tough to put the ball in play hard. Pudge right here is looking for a fly ball, something he can hit in the air to drive home that runner from third.
The White Sox, who have done so well this season in first innings, are having another good opening innings here today. That pitch missing up high. Ball 2, strike 1. This concludes the homestand for the White Sox. This is a makeup game from a game in the first week of the season that was wiped out because of the work stoppage. Ball 3, strike 1. Ron Robinson's last outing, a good one against the A's.
He picked up the White Sox right there. First complete game in the American League, but he is scuffling in his first inning against the Sox. Oh,
strike
right
call. 3-2 with 1 out.
Well, Jeff Torborg has to make his first decision of the afternoon whether or not to send Ron Kittle on the 3-2 count with Pudge up there. Kitty not having the good speed, as we all know, but you want to stay out of that double play here. He's gone.
And the pitch is outside. The bases are loaded.
Well, Kitty had that base stolen anyway. Well, look who's going out to the mound now.
Mr. Haney.
Mr. Haney. Larry Haney. He's the pitching coach. And Robinson scuffling a bit in this early going against the White Sox. White Sox are a team, too. If you don't have that overpowering fastball that you can come inside and bust it in on their hands, they got a chance to hit you hard. And Robinson just happens to come in that category. There's Jeff Torborg looking stylish in his 1917 uniform. Now, see, Jeff has that long-billed hat. There was two different kinds that the Sox players have. I'm sure that if the sun comes out this afternoon, he may tell those guys to wear the long ones because it'll help them to judge balls in the sun. And Don Baylor, the acting manager for the Brewers this afternoon.
Milwaukee playing the infield at double play depth. And the middle part of the infield. Lions up there in the lineup today because of the illness to Pasqua. Outside, ball one.
And the Milwaukee Brewers have not helped their pitchers very much defensively. They are dead last in the league in defense, fielding.
Lyons fouls it off, a ball and a strike.
Boy, I like those uniforms.
I sure do. I'm with you. I like them.
You know, and one thing guys really hate to put onto those stirrups. Those socks. I mean, the White Sox, plain White Sox right there, look fine to me.
Yeah.
WGN.
WGN TV, Channel 9 Chicago. Jim Durham and Tom Pishorik here at Comiskey Park for a real treat. Baseball 1990 played like 1917. Swing and a miss by Lyons. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
All right, Steve's got a gear in here right now. This is one thing the Sox have not been doing lately, is getting those big hits. There's Calderon at third. Kittle, the second base runner, and Carlton Fisk is over there at first.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Lyons. Robinson's pitch. There's a drive into right, a base hit. Calderon is in. Kittle's being held up, and the White Sox have a 2-0 lead.
Well, Robinson makes another mistake here, and a 2-strike pitch. 1-2 is the count against Steve Lyons. He throws him an inside fastball, which is right in Steve's wheelhouse right there. He gets the head of the bat out. You see where he made contact out in front of the plate. And that's why he was able to hit the ball so hard. Actually, he hit it a bit too hard because Kittle was not able to score from second base, but it's a 2-0 White Sox lead. Steve Lyons with his 3rd RBI on the season.
Navarro begins to work in the Milwaukee bullpen. Bases full, 1 down, 2 in. Scott Fletcher, the batter. Breaking ball over. 1 strike. Well, you can see the fans are still coming into the park. A lot of action in the aisleways here. Opening day at Comiskey Park back in April. On April 9th with the Milwaukee Brewers, the White Sox had a crowd of over 40,000. And Fletcher drives one down the left field line. 2 runs are in. Lyons is in at third, and the Sox have a 4-0 lead with runners at second and third.
Atta boy, Scotty Fletcher. Oh boy, look at Scotty. He turns on this inside fastball and nails it over Sheffield's head into the corner. Kittle will score easily. Good base running here too by Lyons, going from first to third. Scotty in the second base, and it is 4-0. Tell you what, they're going to have to rip those uniforms off them after this game if they keep hitting like this. My.
Well, let's see here, Tom. In 1917, the White Sox were hosting the New York Yankees here at Comiskey Park in an afternoon affair, of course.
And you were here.
Well, I missed that day. That was one of the few days I missed. Here's Sammy Sosa. Sox with 4 runs in and threatening to get some more. Sosa lifts a high fly, right center. Hamilton the catch, and Lyons holds. Good throw home by Darrell Hamilton.
Well, the wind had something to do with that right there because it brought it back probably 15 feet or so. Another 15 feet, and that would have been a sacrifice fly for Sammy Sosa. So they dodge one bullet here. The Brewers do. Ozzie Guillen will have a chance here. 9th place hitter. He's the number 9 hitter in this inning. Sox with 5 hits already against Ron Robinson.
Yeah, but he hits better than most 9th place hitters. 319. Big crowd here at Sox Park picks up that chant, Ozzie, Ozzie. And it's back to the mound. Tom talked about Robinson being tall, and that helped him make the play on Guillen. But the White Sox have an inning. They come up with 4 on 5 hits. And after 1, they're not monkeying around. It is 4-0 White Sox. Well, the White Sox are off to a good start in this turn back the clock afternoon. They've got a 4-0 lead after 1 inning. And while we're looking back to the past, you can come out and see the 1991 White Sox uniforms at the next Chi Sox Coca-Cola luncheon Tuesday, July 24th, 11:30 at the Hilton Inn of Oak Lawn. Luncheon will feature Sox manager Jeff Torborg and Ron Kittle. For more information, call the White Sox at 312-924-1000, extension 365. We have a bit of a delay as a banner is being removed from the left field wall. The White Sox doing a good job in the opening inning this year. 60-26, they have outscored opponents. Greg Brock leads off the second for the Brewers. And McDowell misses low. Well, we said that in 1917 the White Sox were hosting the New York Yankees. I stand corrected. They were rained out that day with the Yankees. Brock hits it foul down the left field line. 1 ball, 1 strike. Off the fist, popped up, shallow right. Sammy Sosa. Boy, that wind carried it back toward the infield. It's 2 balls in a row hit into right field that the wind has pushed back. When Parker flied out, Sosa at first broke back and then came on to make the grab, and now he retires Brock. So Vaughn the batter with the bases empty. Strike called.
You're looking at Greg Vaughn. He's got those blue high top baseball cleats. You don't see too many guys wear blue high tops, or any color high tops for that matter. They just look uncomfortable.
Trying to bunt his way on. McDowell lost the play. So the Brewers have a base runner.
There you see the split finger. He hung it. He bunts it in the air, and I'll tell you one thing, that grass right there is very wet. It's going to be tough to make plays, and actually it's an excellent day to bunt because it's thick. The grass is very thick. It's slow. And you get this little English right here. Jack McDowell went over there. He got there in a hurry, but just couldn't plant himself to throw.
It's a bunt single. Yep.
Second hit for the Brewers.
B.J. Surhoff having a good year, hitting just under 300. Batting with a man on, 1 out. Milwaukee down by 4. Outside. Greg Vaughn, the runner at first. 3 stolen bases in 5 attempts. Milwaukee already with a steal today, and they have 83 as a team on the season. Pretty good move that time by McDowell. Because of their aggressiveness, you have to be aware.
Yeah, and Jack McDowell does not do a very good job of holding runners on. It's one of the weaknesses that Jack has, so that's one of the reasons why he will throw over the first base probably a little bit more than usual. Plus the fact that the Brewers, as you pointed out earlier, are leading the American League in stolen bases.
Surhoff waiting. And the pitch is high. Ball 2 the count. White Sox move into New York tomorrow night. Open a rather extended road trip to the east. They will have stops in New York, Detroit, and Baltimore. There's a strike. 2 balls and a strike. Rich Garcia, the home plate umpire today. General admission tickets today at 50 cents, folks. All the other tickets at half price. $0.50. That's the way it was in 1917, they say. There's a strike call. The runner goes, and he's in there. The 4th steal of the season for Vaughn, and the 2nd of the game for the Brewers.
Well, the Brewers are saying right here that they're going to be aggressive regardless of what the score is. There you see Fisk with a good job of getting rid of it. He makes a perfect throw, but he just wasn't held on well enough by Jack McDowell. See the jump by Vaughn. That's his 4th stolen base on the season. He's been caught twice because he can run in them high tops. Looks like Johnny Unitas' old shoes. They just kind of painted them blue.
Here's the 2-2 to Surhoff. Off the fist and fouled away.
Hey, they're not getting to Jack McDowell's fastball, Jim. They're just not taking very many good rips at it so far. He has jammed a few and has gotten them to hit the ball the opposite way like Surhoff did right there. They're not getting the head of the bat out, not hitting the ball in front of the plate.
Again, the 2-2 pitch to Surhoff. This one is hit on the right side, moving the runner over. Fletcher throws out Surhoff, and the Brewers have a man at third with 2 down.
That was a good pitch with the split finger. Split finger fastball right there by Jack McDowell gets the 2nd out. And Darrell Hamilton. Boy, he had some kind of day Sunday, didn't he? He had a grand slam in 1 inning and he had 6 RBIs in 1 inning. That 13-run 5th, I believe it was.
That was the game. The Brewers were down 7-0, and they won 20-7.
Yeah. 13 runs in 1 inning. Pretty remarkable.
Pitch is inside and high. Ball 1.
And that's the last game that they played. Taking out some frustration that they've had all season long, the Brewers. Started off very well, but they have been in a tailspin ever since the first month of the season.
Good stop by Fisk. Ball 2, no strikes. When you talk about 13 runs in an inning, how about this, Tom? Longtime Sox fans remember a White Sox team scored 11 runs in 1 inning on 1 hit. A single by Johnny Callison in Kansas City against the A's, and the White Sox won the game 20-6.
Wow.
There's a ball hit fairly well, but Lance Johnson is there for it. Makes the grab, and that retires the side for Milwaukee here in the 2nd inning. After 1.5, it is 4-0 Chicago. Well, on this day in 1917, Ty Cobb was leading the American League in hitting, 383. Tris Speaker, 341. You go on down, Buck Weaver of the White Sox was hitting 281. He was leading the White Sox in hitting, and that was good enough for 13th in the league. Ball one, strike one to Lance Johnson. Second inning. Lance doubled and scored.
What new? Ty Cobb leading the league in hitting.
Yeah, and he had 24 stolen bases.
Yeah.
Robinson backdoors the breaking ball. 1-2.
See, now Lance has got the new helmet. Well, not the regular helmet with the red brim. I don't particularly care for it. I think they ought to go with those black helmets.
I like them. I like the whole wardrobe. And he fights that one off and hits it foul way down the left field side. Two and two to Lance Johnson. White Sox batted around in the first and scored 4. Way outside. Ball 3, strike 2. And another one hit down the left field side. That one's a foul. In and out of the first row down there in the low boxes. And so Greg Vaughn obliges. The White Sox today, after their 49th victory, they hit the All-Star break at 48-30, but they dropped their last 2 in the Baltimore series. Gantner off the big hop throws out Johnson on a close play.
Great hustle there by Lance. He almost beat it. Hit the high chopper. Jimmy Gantner back at second base for the Brewers. He's missed a lot of playing time with knee injuries. And he always has just enough to get you. And you can see Lance hustling and bang, half a step and he's out of there. So 1 out for Robin Ventura,
who flied out his first time up. Way outside. Robinson missing. Robinson on the mound for the 6th time in a Milwaukee uniform. That one misses inside. 3 decisions in his first 5 outings, 2-1. The earned run average is good. We saw that earlier. But the teams in the American League are hitting .267 against him. Breaking ball over.
No, ERA was good until that first inning.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing, it skyrocketed. He started off at 1.71. He's going to have to put some goose eggs up there to get that ERA back down.
Ventura with a fly ball to center, and there is Yount. 2 outs for the White Sox in the second. And Ivan Calderon, who drove in his 41st run of the year in the first inning. With those 41 runs batted in, he has the team lead as of the moment. Fouls it off. After the White Sox finish up play on this next Eastern Road swing, they will be home with the Cleveland Indians for 3 starting Monday, July 23rd. And the Milwaukee Brewers also will be in on that homestand. Pitch to Calderon. Popped up, foul. Out of play. 2 strikes. 2 outs and nobody on. A year ago at this time, Jeff Torborg's team was embarking on an 8-game winning streak out of the All-Star break. And Tom Paciorek had his ears lowered because of that. Breaking ball is outside. No haircuts for you this year, huh?
No, thanks. I'm not suffering from foot and mouth disease this year, James, so let somebody else do it. Well, how about you?
No, I didn't say anything. And Calderon fouls that one off. So he hangs in there, a ball and 2 strikes. Boy, these are good days out here on the south side. The final year of Comiskey Park, a winning club, the attendance on the increase. What a 3-day run here in Chicago, with the All-Star game being played last night. Monday, of course, the pre-All-Star game festivities here in the city. And now today, the White Sox, I'm not going to say this is the equal to the All-Star game, but as far as a festive atmosphere it is, the fans are really into the swing here. They are enjoying themselves as they turn back the clock. The old-time uniforms, the electronics turned off for the most part, but the lights are on. And the White Sox with a 4-run lead, and Calderon is called out on strikes. Sox go down 1-2-3 in the second. 2 full in the book, and the Sox lead it 4-0. The third inning is here at Sox Park. There's a look at Dave Parker in the Milwaukee dugout. White Sox on top. And Spires up there to bat against McDowell. 9th place hitter in the Milwaukee lineup. Jack McDowell missing inside.
Did you stay up for the full All-Star game last night?
I missed some of that game.
How much?
I missed the base hit by Julio Franco that decided the contest.
You missed the game then. I'll tell you what, that was a great display of pitching. If you like pitching, you have to love last night's game. But if you're like most people and like a little bit of offense, it's not a good game for the spectator. You know, it boiled down to 1 pitch, Jim.
Yeah. That ball hit hard. Lance Johnson's there, though, and Spires is retired.
All right, hit it hard, but right at Lance. 1 pitch. Dibble had Julio Franco down in the count 0-2, and he throws him a fastball. He's thrown a 99-mile-an-hour fastball they clocked him at. And with the 0-2 pitch that he had to waste, he threw it down and pretty much middle in, which is right in Julio Franco's joy spot. Do not disturb. You can't pitch him there. That was a big mistake. Probably the only hard hit ball of the game. There's a foul ball by Gantner. Actually, Dykstra hit one hard in the 9th inning for the National League. It was the only ball they hit hard the whole game. And outside of Franco's double, that was it for the American League. No contact.
And the American League wins again. Inside.
Yes,
the American League, who of course were dominated for so many years by the National League in the All-Star play, have really begun to turn that around. Gantner takes it for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's the scoreboard that is being used today. There's a drive into left center, and that one drops. Base hit. Lyons over to cut it off and get it back in. So Gantner is on with a 1-out single.
Well, he really inside out this pitch. That ball was up and in, and he still was able to get the head of the bat on the ball. He's a good off-speed, off-field hitter. Inside out swing right here. You see it up and in. He just fights it off with the head of the bat on the ball. Finds the right spot, so Steve Lyons has to cut it off because look at that. Boy, that is a fungus swing right there. But he did get the head of the bat on the ball. Did not make that contact out in front of the plate, which is what you like to see there.
But a base hit nonetheless. And now Sheffield, the batter. He hits it off the fist, right back off the facing of the roof behind the plate.
And Gary Sheffield wearing those blue high tops that we were talking about earlier. Just now reaching that real good potential that everybody anticipated for him. Better attitude certainly helps him out. Boy, what an unusual batting stance he has, though, doesn't he, Jim?
Yep. He's closed in. You would think he'd have trouble with that very pitch right there.
Well, the inside fastball has a chance of eating him up, but if he makes contact out in front of the plate, he could still fight it off for some hits. He's going to control the outside corner, though, it would appear.
Gantner, the runner at first with one down. The pitch to Sheffield. Driven into left field. Back-to-back singles here by Milwaukee.
And right there you see it. He fought off an inside fastball just good enough to get it in the left field. You know, he used to have that real high leg kick, much like Kirby Puckett. He's kind of keyed that down a little bit, but still able to make good contact. 300 hitter this year. You can't knock that. And here's Robin Yount. 1 for 1. He hit the split finger pitch for a base hit. That was back in the first inning after getting 2 fastballs thrown right by him. Let's see how Carlton Fisk wants to work them this time.
1 out, runners at first and second. Outside, ball 1. Afternoon baseball on the south side of Chicago. Come out and enjoy the sunshine when the White Sox have the Indians here on a Wednesday afternoon, July 25th. All kids attending receive a copy of Sports Illustrated for Kids. Call Ticketmaster 312-559-1212. Strike called. 1-1 to Yount.
There you see his updated numbers. 242 for Robin. 7 homers and 36 RBIs. Not a whole lot of speed out there. Jimmy Gantner, with all those leg problems, doesn't run that well. Sheffield with good speed at first base. Yeah, although he does have those ugly high tops on.
From a White Sox standpoint, they have the Milwaukee base runners positioned properly. You get Sheffield running behind instead of in front of.
Right.
Yount fouls it off. 1-2. There's Gantner at second. And Sheffield at first. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Robin Yount. Jack McDowell's pitch. Hammered. Left center field. A long way. And all the way out. A 3-run homer for Robin Yount. Milwaukee is back in the contest.
Steve Lyons claiming that a fan reached over the fence to make this play. I don't think he's going to win this argument. 8th home run on the season for Robin Yount. He's gotten hot in this ball game. 39 RBIs total on the year so far. There you see Jeff out there with Chuck Merriweather arguing his call. Maybe we can see that on the replay. And okay, let's take a look at the pitch. It's a fastball down. Robin Yount, a great low ball hitter. At least he has been his entire career. And right there, geez, I'm sorry. It didn't look like he went over for me.
It didn't look that way on the replay. You're right. So Robin Yount has sparked his team back into the game.
Well, they're right back in there now. 4-3. Both teams with 5 hits.
Well, let's look again and see if the fan catches it above that yellow line. It sure looked like it. Yeah, he caught it waist high, it looked like.
Yeah.
So the 3-run homer by Yount gets the Brewers within 1. And here's Dave Parker with 1 out and nobody on.
And Jack McDowell has really been hurt this year by the home run ball. 13 now hit against Jack. And they've been multiple run homers, too, that really hurt him.
Boy, right back up the middle by Parker. That is the 4th hit in a row.
Wow. Dave Parker wants to get those big arms of his extended, and he does, and rips one right back at Jack McDowell. No chance for anybody to make a play right here. Sammy Ellis is out to the mound right now to confer with Jack McDowell and Carlton Fisk. Ozzie joins the discussion.
Wayne
and
Edwards.
The bullpen.
Wayne Edwards working in the bullpen. First man up, Spires, flied out. Then a base hit for Gantner and Sheffield. 3-run homer for Yount and a single for Parker. And here's another power hitter, Greg Brock, up there. He flied out his first time up. Strike call. The Milwaukee Brewers, who hit the All-Star break, 36 wins and 44 losses. Even though they're 8 under over there in the American League East, they're 9 games behind Boston. Outside. 1-1 with 1 out and 1 on. Milwaukee trying to turn the tide against the White Sox. The Sox have won the first 2 meetings this year. They've got a head-to-head winning streak going of 6 in a row, dating back to last season when the Sox won 10 of 12. And you can even take that farther and you find the White Sox having even more success. Very close at first. Mike Riley says Parker gets back in there.
And nobody's going to argue with Dave Parker. There you see the tag.
Safe.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's got his foot on the bag. You can see the ball of his foot.
The 1-1 pitch to Brock. Outside. Ball 2, strike 1. Jack McDowell hasn't picked up a strikeout as yet in this game. But the Brewers have 6 hits off him. And 2 1/3 innings of work so far. The bat goes flying on that swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Andy Etchebarren, the first base coach, flags it down.
Take a look at the last pitch. There's the split finger. And the good arm motion that Jack McDowell had right there. When you're fooled by an off-speed pitch when you let loose of the bat. And that's exactly what happened with Greg Brock. So 2-2 count. Obviously he was sitting on that fastball ahead in the count at 2-1. My goodness, Parker makes Kittle look small. He's got to be dressing out about 250, doesn't he, Big Dave?
Yeah, probably so. He takes off and Brock fouls it off. Still 2-2.
Boy,
I tell you, Dave Parker in the late 70s, he was as good as it gets.
Yeah, he's got 3 stolen bases in 8 attempts. You're right, though. He was like the big kid on your little league team.
That's right.
You know, hit a home run every time up. He was bigger, stronger, faster, could hit better, could do everything better than anybody else on the field. Every point of the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way he was in the big leagues.
Yep. He stays put, and the pitch is inside to Brock. Full count now.
Now, if he can run on 2-2, he can definitely go on 3-2. Brock, pretty good contact hitter. Here you see what Jack has done in his last 3 starts from an average standpoint. 6 innings. If he could do that, that's not too shabby, but it's going to be a little difficult the way he started off this afternoon. It's like he wants the breaking ball.
Parker goes, and the ball is hit foul. Dave Parker with a greeting for Ozzie Guillen down there at second base.
That'll rattle Ozzie's bones, won't it? I watched that All-Star game yesterday. Ozzie was just having the time of his life. He was just so happy to be there, laughing, joking, talking with everybody that listened. He had a great time.
Here we go with another 3-2. Instead, on to first. Dave Parker has gotten a workout. This time on base. There he goes. Strike 3 called. Here's Fisk's throw. Out. The White Sox turn the double play on the strikeout and the caught stealing. And that's it for the Brewers in the third, as Dave Parker is turned away. So this is the first time today the Sox have gotten a Brewer base runner after they had stolen twice. The Sox come to bat in the bottom of the third. Their lead down to 1 at 4-3. Well, Milwaukee was turned away in the third inning on a strikeout throwout double play here.
Wow.
And the Brewers weren't happy with either end of it.
No, they weren't. They felt like they should be at first and second with only 1 out. But as it turned out, that's an inning-ending double play. Really helps Jack McDowell. So Ron Kittle's going to lead things off for the White Sox. He's got 1 strike on him. And there's Big Dave. I don't want to get in an argument with that guy.
He was called out by Chuck Merriweather, the second base umpire. Kittle hits a shot at Sheffield. 1 out. So Ron Robinson, after that rocky first, has settled down. He got the White Sox in order in the second. Offensively, his club has gotten him back into the game on that 3-run homer by Robin Yount. And here's Carlton Fisk. Fisk received the only walk allowed by Robinson to this point today. He also has balanced that with a strikeout. Strike called. White Sox need a victory today to square this 10-game homestand. Outside, 1-1. And it's always good to get a victory on getaway day before you embark on an extended road trip. Breaking ball outside. Did he swing? Nope.
Yeah,
2 balls and a strike.
Kept those hands back right there. Maybe he'll get that fastball that he's looking for. Robinson knows that Carlton Fisk, an excellent fastball hitter. Nope.
So he's got a 3-1 count. Steve Lyons is on deck. Outside, ball 4. Fisk walks for the second time in the game. And now Lyons, who had a base hit and drove in a run in the 4-run first, bats with 1 out and 1 on. Carlton Fisk and Greg Brock, the Milwaukee first baseman, there in your picture. The sun has come out. There's a strike call to Lyons. So now with the sun shining, it's without question we have much better weather than in 1917 when the White Sox and the Yankees were rained out here. If you win, they will come. And that's been the deal with the White Sox. Lyons pops it foul behind the plate. Surhoff back looking up. It's up on the screen. Two strikes the count. The Sox with 5 hits in the first to score their 4 runs. The Brewers used the long ball in the third. The 3-run homer by Yount to cut it to 1. Mark Knudsen working in the Milwaukee bullpen. Up high. 1-2. There's Knudsen. Strike call. Steve Lyons called out on strikes.
Well, he got the breaking ball over that time. Robinson knew that Lyons, sitting on the fastball, got the fastballs last time up and drove in a run with a 2-strike count. This time he didn't accommodate Steve, threw the slider down and in, and Rich Garcia gives him the pitch. So 2 outs for Scotty Fletcher, who doubled in a pair back in the first inning. Scotty now with 21 RBIs on the season.
And 11 2-base hits. He's trying to butt his way on, and he just may have. He has. A bunt single by Fletcher.
Absolutely perfect. Watch Scotty. Watch the angle of the bat. It's right down the first baseline. Now when you do that, you're either going to have a perfect bunt right there like Scotty did, or the ball's going to go foul. So the worst you can come up with is a strike. See, right down the line. Just eat it. You got no chance right there. Great job by Fletcher. So it gives Sammy Sosa a chance. Oh, that's good fundamentals. And he didn't. He waited till he bunted the ball before he started running down the first baseline, which is a key there also. You don't rush your way into a bunt.
All right, 2 on and 2 out. Sosa takes it outside. Good stop by Surhoff. A pitch in the dirt. Sosa flied out for the second out in the first inning. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. 1-1. Ron Robinson has been staying with his breaking ball today. Low, ball 2, strike 1. White Sox need a run to extend the lead. Fisk the runner at second. Fletcher the runner at first. Ozzie Guillen on deck. The 2-1 pitch to Sosa. A line drive foul down the left field line.
Oh, he hung a breaking ball right there, and Sammy jumped all over it. Just a tad too quick, though. Oh, boy. Straighten that thing out. That would have put a couple more points on the board for the White Sox. But count now even at 2-2.
And Ron Robinson with a chance to pitch his way out. Here's the 2-2. Sosa fights it off. Today's game was a game that was originally scheduled The first week of the season that was lost because of the work stoppage. I'll tell you what, Tom, you talk about something that's long forgotten. That is, I don't think anybody can remember it. You know,
remember what?
You look around, the ballpark is full.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. That's what the fans are saying. Remember what? Sosa, line drive to center. Out. Can't make the play. It gets through, and both runs will score. Sosa on his way to third. And he'll hold up there. The White Sox have a 6-3 lead.
Well, three base hit right here. That's the ruling. It's a breaking ball. Sammy goes after it, hits it nicely. Now here's Robin Yount thinking he can make the shoestring catch, but the ball was sinking away from him. And that's why it got by Robin, who is a very reliable center fielder. Another look at it will show you this. And the ball just went underneath his glove. 2 RBIs for Sammy. That's 34 for the season, and the Sox jump right back here, 6-3. Oh, that's big. Answer the opposition. There's Scotty. Pudge scored easily, and 6-3 ball game.
And now again trying to add to it, and he takes ball 1. Sosa, the runner at third. That's his 8th triple. He is second in the American League in that department.
Oh, that's big right there. It was that momentum inning. It started coming back over to the Brewers with the 3-run homer by Yount. There's a ball in the dirt.
Ball 2, the count again.
And you just get that mojo going back to your side. And there goes Mr. Haney once again.
It's the second time he's been out in this game to talk with Robinson. Robinson was doing pretty well after the first inning. He got the Sox 1-2-3 in the second. Had the first 2 men out here in the third. And then a walk to Fisk. Bunt single by Fletcher. And Sosa's triple scored them.
Take a look at the pitch. It was, heck, it was down and away. Probably not as far away as Robinson would have liked. There you see the wet ground here at Comiskey playing tricks on Robin Yount. Ball gets by him. And there's Pugsley scoring. Scotty Fletcher scored also. And Sammy at third.
2-0 pitch outside to Guillen. They've got Jamie Navarro in the bullpen. It's the second time in the game he's been up. Three and 0 to Guillen. The Brewers are hoping that Robinson can get Guillen and get out of this inning. He needs the 1 out, of course. And there is a strike. 3-1. Don Baylor hoping he doesn't have to make the change here in this inning. Line into left center field. A base hit. Yount gets to this one to cut it off. Ozzie Guillen going for 2. Save.
That's great baseball right here by the White Sox. Ozzie got the favorable 3-run count and lines it into the gap in left center. And he's not satisfied with 1 and the RBI. He wants to get 2. That's what you got to do. When you're aggressive, go for that double, especially with 2 outs. That's your job. You got to be thinking 2 as you leave the batter's box, and that's why Ozzie got there.
Because, yes, Tom, he knows it's going to take a perfect throw to get him.
Exactly. And Robin Yount right there, you can see he has to throw across his body.
Right. A pitching change here at Comiskey Park. We'll be back and tell you about the new Milwaukee pitcher in a moment. We're
back at Comiskey Park, and a new pitcher, and let's see The end of the last play. Here's Robin Yount having to make the tough throw across his body, and here comes the Oz. Yeah, he's in there with a double RBI. Ozzie, that is his 27th on the season. And Ron Robinson is gone after that outstanding ERA, 1.71 coming in. It is way up there now. And the new pitcher will be Jamie Navarro, big right-hander. They have nothing but big guys out of there on that pitching staff. He's 2-2 with a 6.16 in 12 appearances so far. Giving up a lot of hits. Look at that, 70 hits in just under 50 innings. Walking 21, 38 runs. My goodness, only 20 strikeouts. So Jamie Navarro has really been scuffling. Well, I tell you what, you add the 70 hits with the number of walks, and the opposition has really got a heck of a chance of scoring against the Brewers when Navarro is out there, if he lives up to those numbers. And there you see some of our fans here this afternoon enjoying what they've seen so far. I think the Sox like wearing those uniforms. They got their hitting shoes on. Hitting pants, hitting no stirrups. 7 runs, 8 hits, and no errors, and we are only in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, things looking good right now for the White Sox as Lance Johnson steps in. Boy, the White Sox hustling plays, as evidenced by Ozzie Guillen hustling out that double. Johnson takes it low from Navarro, ball 1. Ron Robinson in 2 2/3 gave up 8 hits. 7 runs so far. Guillen is his responsibility. There's a ball hit foul down the left field line. 1-1 the count to Lance Johnson. 1 for 2 today. Doubled and scored in the 4-run first. So the White Sox, who staked Jack McDowell to a 4-run lead in the first, now have reestablished that margin in knocking Robinson out in the 3rd. And Johnson fouls that one off. 1-2.
Oh, look at that line. 2 2/3 innings, 7 runs, 8 hits, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. So he has scuffled.
Lance Johnson would like to give him 8 runs for the day. He fouls that one back into the upper deck. Still 1-2. There's Ozzie Guillen. That 2-base hit is 10th of the season. There's a pitch hit to left center, but Yount will get there and make the grab. And that's it for the White Sox in the 3rd, but they come up with a big 2-out rally. They score 3, leave 1, and after 3 full, they lead the contest by 4. Jim Durham with Tom Paciorek here at Comiskey Park. This one goes to the 4th, and the White Sox with a 4-run lead. Well, we said earlier the White Sox weren't monkeying around today, but this gentleman on my right has been monkeying around most of his career.
He's our guest commentator.
Which one
Adam
is Paciorek?
Yes.
Oh,
how long have you been in the business?
Look, Tom, I can't even see your lips move.
His lips aren't.
Vaughn fouls it back.
Oh, God.
Take a bow.
It's like a distant cousin of yours, isn't it, Jim Durham?
Oh, boy. Do you have the proper license for that minky?
I have no license, and I think this minky has been minkying around on my shoulder.
Here's a 1-1 to Vaughn. It gets through. Ball 2, strike 1.
This guy needs a diet a little bit.
Well, he's hanging in there.
Yeah, he doesn't keep score as good as I do, though. Guaranteed.
He didn't bring enough peanuts for everybody either. 2 balls and a strike. And Vaughn swings and misses. 2-2. Jack McDowell with another 4-run lead to work with.
Adam will be back in a couple innings to do some play-by-play.
A swing and a miss. That's the second strikeout for McDowell and the second in succession.
Good pitch right here by McDowell. Split finger, nasty, down and away. That's the way you want to throw the split finger, just out of the strike zone when you have 2 strikes on the hitter. Perfect execution right there by Jack McDowell. So there's 1 out in the 4th.
And here's Surhoff. Strike. Ball 1, strike 1. Did you say the monkey was coming back later, Tom?
Yeah, so he's going to do a couple innings of play-by-play. He has no license, though.
The question is he in violation of a city ordinance?
Oh, I think not. He's a heavy little bugger, you know that?
Is that right?
Yeah. Luckily, this is not my shirt.
Swing and a miss. It is now. 1-2.
Now, you know, we have to return all this stuff after the game, you know.
Right. I got the memo.
We don't want this to appear in your closet.
I know what, well, I know. I've learned a lesson today, Tom.
What's
and I'm
that?
going to tell you what that is after this
Ooh.
pitch. It misses. Ball 2, strike 2. The lesson I have learned is that in the year 2063, when we turn back the clock to 1990,
Yeah.
see, I'm saving my clothes now in anticipation of 73 years hence.
Well, it looks like you've saved those clothes you have on now for quite a few years.
Still 2-2 to Surhoff.
Another great play by a
Bulls fan. Wouldn't you know that the Bulls
Yeah.
fan would make the grab? Here's the 2-2.
Okay,
Foul
while we
away.
have this, let me ask you about the, of course, we all know about Dennis Hobson. He's going to help the Bulls, right?
Don't
Give
you
up.
dare ask me how you pronounce that other guy's name.
Okay, the guy from wherever he's from, the 6'10" guard. You don't know about him?
Seems he had a pretty good game in one of those McDonald's games against an NBA team. Swing and a miss by Surhoff. He strikes out 3 in a row. For Jack McDowell, he's found that strikeout pitch.
And he just blows the fastball right by B.J. Surhoff right here. So, number 3 for Jack, and hopefully he's gotten himself in a good groove. What he has done in the last 3 hitters, though, Jim, is get ahead of the hitters early in the count. When he's pitching from behind, the hitter is at definite advantage.
Darrell Hamilton, the batter, and he takes it low. Ball 1. We haven't had the attendance figure announced as yet, but it will be keeping with recent games here at Comiskey Park. On the right side, and Kittle takes it unassisted. And Hamilton didn't run it out. Evidently, he thought it was a foul ball.
Well, Rich Garcia is saying he's out of there.
Fair ball and a put out. All right. That's it for the Brewers here in the 4th inning.
Well, hold on a second. They're going to check it to see if there's any blue shoe polish. If there is, they probably will count it. Uh-oh.
It was a foul ball.
Well, here's one of those situations. Well, you really can't tell right from there. Let's see. Oh boy. Well, you saw a little bit of a puff of dirt go up there at the end. I really couldn't tell. But they're saying that there was a blue smudge on the ball, so obviously it did hit Hamilton. Unless a tremendous job of acting by the young right fielder. Now there you see it right there off the top of the snow.
Now he hits one foul down the right field line. So it is 1-2 the count with 2 outs and nobody on. Oops. I'll just sneak back in here. No one will notice.
No. How about those shirts some of these people are wearing? I love that. That emblem. That Sox coming straight up and down.
Yeah. There's another pitch hit foul and out of play. Ventura gives a look. The shoe polish brought the White Sox back onto the field and changed the call from a fair ball to a foul ball, and Hamilton with another attempt here. Was it the '57 World Series where the Milwaukee Braves had a call reversed, wasn't it? With shoe polish, Nippy Jones, I believe. There's a foul off to the left, out of play.
Another great play by a fan. I don't know. Are you talking about the old infamous Nippy Jones incident?
Yeah, wasn't that in the '57 World Series?
No.
Yeah, I know one thing.
I don't have the
The shoe polish wasn't
television.
blue.
That's right.
There's a pitch, foul back.
You know, that could never happen to an Oakland A player right there.
That's right.
Any team with white shoes, how are you going to get the benefit of the doubt?
Good point. Hamilton waiting. McDowell's pitch.
Ow.
Broken bat. And Scotty Fletcher has it. 1-2-3 go the Brewers in the 4th. White Sox come to bat in the home half, leading at 7-3.
Let's go back in time and take a look at the AL pitching leaders in 1917. The leader was, I don't know Faber's first name.
Red Faber.
Red Faber, okay. 114 earned run average. Eddie Seacott of the White Sox. Wow, he was 12-7 with a 119. 21st.
How about
the White
Ruth?
Sox.
You know his first name?
George. Herb
Right.
Pennock. Good grief. Babe Ruth had a 2.21 ERA when he was 24th in the league in ERA.
How would you like to have hit in that league?
There wasn't a whole lot of hitting going on that year, was there? Well, Ty Cobb was hitting .383, as we pointed out earlier in the ball game, so he was the only guy getting hits.
Huh. Ventura leads off for the White Sox in the 4th.
Isn't that amazing?
24th in the league. He's got an earned run average of 2.24.
Easily #1 in the league now.
Ventura lifts a high pop left side. A trio of Brewers on the road.
What an effort.
I tell you what, Spires almost came up with the play of the day.
Oh, that was highlight material right there. Great effort there by Billy Spires. They're playing hard, this Brew crew. And you can't get much of a better effort than right there. He just missed it. He knew he had to slide on that wet grass. So Robin has to come back. Count even at 1.
8 hits for the Sox today. Milwaukee with 6. There are 3 runs. If you're joining us late, a 3-run homer in the 3rd by Yount. And the count to Ventura, 2 balls and a strike. Jamie Navarro, second pitcher used by the Brewers. Right back at him. And Ventura is out. One down for Calderon, 1 for 2. Run batted in. Breaking ball. Ball one. Swing and a miss.
You know, one thing I was really surprised looking at those numbers by Navarro, 6-point earned run average. He has pitched very well against the White Sox. In his career, he's 1-1 against the Sox, but his ERA is 1.29. So he has just been very effective against the White Sox. There's a changeup.
Hit hard at Spires. And the long throw gets Calderon. 2 up and 2 down for the Sox in the fourth.
He's only 23 years old. 6'4", 210-pounder. They've got all big pitchers here at Milwaukee. But he's a keeper. He's got good stuff. He's got the good fastball, breaking ball, and will throw that changeup that we just saw.
Now he deals to Ron Kittle. And Kittle fouls off the first one. Yeah, Jamie Navarro with that 1.29 ERA against the White Sox. That would be good enough for 1917. 1.29.
Well, that's in 14 innings. He was impressive up there against us last year.
Ball one, strike one. Hit foul. 1-2.
And we'd like to give a special White Sox hello to John Gerald and a group from Gerald Dodge out at Comiskey Park rooting for a White Sox victory. Those are the Dodge guys, the good guys in the white hats. Yeah.
Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Navarro strikes out Kittle. And the White Sox are retired in the fourth. Milwaukee comes up top of the fifth. Chicago leads it by 4. Comiskey Park, 1917, 1990, and out yonder is 1991. The new Comiskey Park, going up on the south side of 35th Street. So the White Sox will be moving even farther to the south. 1 block well across the street. Next year, and of course the ballpark will be facing from home plate looking out northeast as opposed to the facing of northwest right now. Boy, that will make the park play completely different, Tom, with the wind direction and everything.
Yeah, it should. It should make the wind be blowing out. It'd be much more comfortable for the fans too. Don't have to sit and have that northerly wind coming at you the whole time. And the hitters are going to love it.
Billy Spires, the batter.
Of course, by next year we'll probably have a complete turnaround on the wind.
Here's a 1-strike pitch. Inside, 1-1. Spires 0 for 1 today. Flied out his only time up there. Ball 2, strike 1.
Here's some interesting numbers that our coordinator of broadcasting, Dan Fabian, has just brought to us, Jim. The league batting average in 1917 was 248. Now, right now, in 1990, the American League batting average is 259, which is down from last year. It was about 265. There's a foul ball. 265, 266 is what the league hit last year. The league ERA was an amazing 2.66. Now, nowadays, if it's 2.66, you got a chance. You're individual. You got a chance of leading the league. There were only 136 home runs hit that year in the American League.
Yeah, remember, Babe Ruth was pitching then.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. Spires strikes out. That's the 4th strikeout for Jack McDowell, and it's the 4th in the last 5 batters he's faced.
And a great split finger pitch. Look at this thing go down and in. I'll tell you, Jack's doing a good job of getting ahead of the hitters, and that's why he's able to accomplish those strikeouts in the last couple of innings. I think it just rattled him a bit when Yount hit the homer. Just Ooh, there's a good fastball inside the Gantner. He may have kicked it in gear with that homer by Yount.
Well, I think he felt he had one of two ways to go at that moment.
Yeah.
There's a hard hit ball, but it'll hang up there for Lyons. And Gantner is retired.
How about the White Sox that year? They had 253 as a team, hit only 19 home runs as a ball club. And the White Sox team ERA was 2.16. Now you can see why they were the world champions. Outstanding pitching. The Washington Senators hit 4 home runs that year.
As a team. That's 4 home runs. And what are they played 154 game schedule.
Yeah.
Then?
Yeah.
Sheffield fouls off the first pitch.
That's amazing. These numbers are incredible for that year. And then when did Babe Ruth? Babe Ruth was strictly a pitcher back then?
Yeah, he was 11-5 at this stage of the season. And he had an earned run average of 2.21. And that ERA qualified him for 24th best in the American League. Sheffield hammers one into left center, and over to pick it up is Johnson. So a 2-out hit. That's what got things going. It was a 1-out base hit by Gantner in the third that got things going for the Brewers.
He hammers that one. Second hit of the afternoon for Sheffield. You could see he is becoming more and more of an accomplished hitter the more we watch him, especially this afternoon. Babe Ruth, we are told, didn't become a hitter permanently until 1920.
That's when those home run figures changed.
Yeah, well, they didn't. He was the only one that was hitting homers, I guess, in the 20s. Really, that's amazing.
Robin Yount, the batter, with Sheffield aboard and 2 outs. Here's the strike 1 pitch. Taps it foul behind the plate. 0-2. Jack McDowell 5-4. His earned run average coming in today over 4 at 4.09. And the American League hitting .250 against him. He has a complete game, but that was about a month ago.
Yeah, I think these balls are a little livelier now than they were 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, but the gloves are better. The defensive players are better. The conditions are better in which they play under. The fields are in better shape.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Runner goes. There's a throw by Fisk, and Sheffield is in there with a stolen base. That's the 3rd steal of the day for the Brewers.
And once again, they steal on Jack McDowell. Jack very slow in his delivery to home plate, and Pudge gets a decent pitch to throw on, but Sheffield's almost there. Well, Scotty Fletcher trying to put the tag on him. He is off to the races, even with those high tops.
So his 15th out of 21 attempts. And Yount fouls it off. Still 1-2 to Robin Yount. That's his 15th steal in 20 attempts, I stand corrected.
Having a great year. There's Gary Sheffield. Robin Yount hit a split finger pitch for a single in the first inning, and then the 3-run homer was off a low fastball. So he's down the count 1-2. Let's see what Pudge tries to do with him here.
Down and away, tapped foul. You may have hit on it early on today, Tom, when you said Yount bringing that .239 average into this game just after the All-Star break. You said if he picks it up, this Milwaukee club will be a completely different team. Well, he's got 2 hits so far.
Yeah, he is definitely the key to that ball club. Of course, they need Molitor back also. Those two guys can be just devastating. They need the pitching to improve, and of course the defense, which is ranked last in the American League, hasn't helped things out either.
A high fly, right field. Sosa surveying it, makes the play. Milwaukee retired in the 5th. No runs, a hit, 1 left. White Sox come up as we're at the halfway point today. 7-3 Chicago. They're hanging the numbers manually today. As you look at the field. Fisk starts the 5th for the White Sox against Navarro. Outside, ball 1. White Sox here in the 5th have Fisk, and then Lyons, then Fletcher. There's a strike, a fastball in there, 1-1. Fisk has been on twice and scored twice. He walked both times against Ron Robinson. Lifts a high pop up.
Wow, look at it coming back.
It finally comes down, and Spires makes the catch even though Gantner was calling for it.
No, you're not going to get much help. There you see a pretty good breaking ball right there by Navarro. Pudge pops it up. There's Gantner calling, and Spire, whoa, he almost got tangled up with Chuck Merriweather, and then Spire makes the play. So there's 1 out for Lyons. Lyons 1 for 2. He's got an RBI single, and he struck out.
Navarro missing way outside with that first one. The versatile Steve Lyons. They may come no more versatile than this guy. He's done it all. In fact, he's one of the few members of the White Sox with an earned run average over 4 in his brief stint this season.
Well, he didn't have as good control that night, you know, and had trouble spotting his breaking ball.
He got a strikeout.
That's right.
He pops up a bunt. And Navarro makes the play in front of Brock.
Here's a reminder, the Chicago White Sox wives present an auction filled evening on Sunday, August 12th from 5:30 to 9 p.m. at the Excalibur in downtown Chicago. White Sox players, wives, and broadcasters will attend. Plus, the proceeds from the auction will benefit the Crisis Center of South Suburbia to help battered wives and abused children. So it's a great cause, and for more information, call the Sox at 312-924-1000, extension 292.
Scott Fletcher up there. Takes the first pitch for a ball. You're going to see a contrast. The flags on the left center field roof are blowing dead in. The right center, they were almost limp a moment ago. Outside. There you see the flags on the roof on left center, and over on the other side, they're just barely moving in the breeze. Up high. 2-0. There's a look across the right field roof. Strike. Scotty Fletcher. Bunt single and scored a run in the 3rd. That was the inning Navarro came on in relief. Here's one hammered into right field for a base hit. 3 hits today.
All right, Scotty Fletcher. He's having himself quite an afternoon. He's got the double and 2 RBIs, and then he singled his last 2 times. He has scored a run. Let's take a look at it. Not a bad pitch. A fastball away. Scotty goes with it nicely, hammers it into right field, so he's got that batting average on the climb right now. It's got to be over 240. May not sound like a lot, but when you start it off the way Scotty did, it is a great jump.
Here's Sosa. Sosa fouls off the first one. Sammy Sosa tripled and drove in 2 in the 3rd inning. Hit a sinking line drive to center that got past Robin Yount. Two outs and a man on for the White Sox. And Sosa hits a fair ball down the left field line. Vaughn tracks it down. Fletcher around third to score. Sosa headed for third. He's in there.
Sammy Sosa with his 3rd triple of the afternoon. Oh, he hammered this one. He got a hanging changeup right there. He hung it. Look at it. Right in his wheelhouse, and he gets it right between the line at third, between Sheffield and the line. And you can see Scotty will score easily as Vaughn has trouble catching that ball in the corner. Look at that. Triple number 9 for Sammy, his 2nd in the afternoon. Look at the swing right there. He just hung it. Oh, a real bad pitch by Navarro. So the Sox get a 2-out RBI. Nice job by Sammy.
Here's Ozzie Guillen. He hits one down to third through the legs in Sheffield. Here's that long throw by Spires, safe at first. Another run in. It's an error on Sheffield. Tom talked about the defensive lapses of the Brewers. And an error on Sheffield allows another run in.
Yeah, he just booted that one, pure and simple. So you see the Sox with that 9-3 lead.
Lance Johnson ground ball to short. Spires with a short toss to Gantner. But the Sox come up with 2 more in the 5th to add to the lead. And now after 5, it is 9-3 White Sox. The 6th inning at Comiskey Park, and a 6-run lead for the White Sox. As they put 2 more up there in the 5th, one of course unearned. 10 hits for the home team in this game. And Milwaukee's 3 came on one swing of the bat by Yount. Here's Parker, ground ball to first. Kittle wide, makes the toss to McDowell for the out.
Oh, Kitty almost flubbed that one. He really got, when you flip that ball to first base, you really got to be making a motion. You got to be moving towards first base. He got that when he flipped it off the end of his fingertips. Fortunately, Jack McDowell is 6'6", able to make the play.
And Greg Brock, the batter. One down here in the 6th inning for Milwaukee. Ball 1. Brock, the last time up, struck out, and on the play Parker was trying to steal and was thrown out, and that ended the 3rd inning. Ball 2 the count. The White Sox in 1917 won the World Series. And in 1990, they're starting the post All-Star schedule, a game behind Oakland. It's the only afternoon game in the big leagues today, and the other activity tonight is in the American League. 3 other games scheduled. The A's are playing at Minnesota. High pop fly out of play off the left side.
2-2 the count.
Here's a reminder, the first 14,000 adults attending the White Sox Brewers game on Friday, July 27th at 7:05 will receive a tankard compliments of Miller Lite. For tickets, call Ticketmaster at 559-1212.
McDowell misses inside. It's a full count to Brock. Besides the A's playing at Minnesota tonight, Kansas City at Baltimore, California is at Seattle later. Here's a pitch. Line fly right field. Sosa's there. And Greg Brock is retired.
There's Sammy. He gets the best jump in baseball, no doubt. Look at him.
He is saluting the fans in right field, and they in turn are saluting him.
Well, you know, there's a very tough play right there. Sammy gets a good jump because Brock is a big guy, and he jams himself with the fastball right here, and you got to come in quickly. Sammy makes a tough play look routine, and the fans appreciate him.
Vaughn hits one down to short. Ozzie Guillen the pick up and throw, and Milwaukee is down 1-2-3 in the sixth. White Sox come to bat in the bottom half, leading at 9-2-3. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the White Sox. It may not be reproduced, retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Chicago White Sox. It's the bottom of the sixth at Comiskey Park. And ball one the count to Robin Ventura. Jamie Navarro's pitch is low. Ball two, no strikes. Robin Ventura looking for his first hit of the day. Fouls it off. 2-1. It's been a cool afternoon at the ballpark, but a very pleasant day indeed for July 11th. There's a drive down the left field line, foul. 2-2. Hard to believe over the weekend, Tom, the temperature was in the mid-90s.
I know.
You were here, buddy.
Darn right I was.
You had the fan on up here in the booth.
I like it like this a lot better. I'm out of that beach mode, you know. I'm done with it.
Ventura fouls it away, still 2-2. The next Chicago Tribune half price night comes up Monday, the 23rd of the month. The Indians are in, 7:05 game. For tickets, call Ticketmaster at 312-559-1212 or stop by the Comiskey Park ticket windows. And I would encourage you to do that soon. As you are seeing, it is another big crowd today at the ballpark. Ventura ground ball. Gantner a backhand pickup. Now the throw, and he gets him. Good play.
Jim Gantner very steady at the second base spot. They really missed him early on in the year when he missed so much playing time. But if he can get to it, he'll generally make the play. And Robin smashes this one, as you can see on the replay, right up the middle. But with the backhand, he sets himself to throw. Bang. You're out of there.
So Calderon the batter with one out. And that's ball one as that pitch stays high. Yvonne an RBI single in the first. Breaking ball outside, ball two. Back in the early part of the season, opening day here, and then the next day opening day at County Stadium. That's when these two teams played. Remember how cold it was then, Tom?
Yes, sir.
In fact, the second game of the County Stadium series was called. They said it was too cold to play.
I don't think they wanted to play that game. When we didn't play on the off day the next day either.
Right.
Well, Molitor was out. A lot of guys were gone. Gantner wasn't ready to play. And the Sox had just gotten done beating them. 12 out of 14 ball games and 6 in a row. So they decided, There's Don Baylor. He's the acting manager of the Brewers until Tom Trebelhorn gets through with his suspension.
And a pitch to Calderon. Right call. Ivan called out on strikes. Navarro with his second strikeout.
He didn't like it. I'd hate to have to hit this pitch for a living. Look at the location. That's either just off the plate or on the outside corner at the knees. So Rich Garcia punches out Calderon, and there are 2 outs for Ron Kittle.
Ball 1, the count to Kittle. He caught up with that one, fouled it off. 1-1. In the New York series that opens tomorrow in Yankee Stadium, Melito Perez for the White Sox, and guess who for New York? Andy Hawkins.
Mr. Lucky.
Look at that guy. He was
a
in the service in 1917, wasn't he?
That's what he is.
There you go. What'd you think? It was Smokey the Bear? There you go.
Oversized.
The Yanks
Scout.
are coming. You remember that song, right, Tom?
Yeah. You and Jimmy Cagney were a great duo, I'll tell you. Duet.
Instead of the Yanks are coming, the Sox are coming to the Yanks. Kittle lifts one high down the left field line. Way foul. 1-2.
I love those helmets. Those are really sharp. Hey, any hat or helmet that doesn't have a two-tone to it, I really like. I don't like those things, those red bills. Much sharper.
Yeah, I've noticed that about you. Another foul ball.
About my hats?
No, and about your wardrobe in general. I've been meaning to talk to you about that.
Well,
but you do have good taste in batting helmets, because I like that.
Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous?
Swing and a miss. Kittle strikes out. Navarro gets the Sox in order in the 6th. And the Brewers come up in the 7th, trailing by 6. $40,666 the attendance today. The White Sox are just, well, they're roughly 7,000 under the 1 million mark for the year. This is their 20th crowd of over 20,000 this year, as opposed to 6 last season. Surhoff leads off for Milwaukee, takes a fastball in there, and strike 1. 7th inning, 9-3 White Sox. So when the White Sox come off this next road trip, they will go over the 1 million mark. They are 344,000 ahead of last year's attendance figure at this juncture. Inside, 1-1. Outside. Three balls and a strike is the count to Surhoff, leading off the 7th. Was grounded out and struck out today. Hit down to Kittle. He'll take it unassisted this time. And he outruns Surhoff to the base for the putout.
That's a big out right there for Jack McDowell, because he fell behind on the count 3-1. one of the few hitters he's been behind since the 3rd inning when he gave up those 4 runs. Milwaukee has just been able to get 1 hit off Jack in the last 3 1/3 innings.
Speaking of Jack, we've got a Hall of Famer with us up here.
Oh, wow.
Jack Brickhouse stopping by. And no, it's not true. He wasn't here in 1917. That pitch misses inside.
Were you here, Jack?
Well, if I showed up here in 1917, it would have to be in a diaper. I was 1 year old. I'll tell you, I've read a lot about it.
Hey, Jack, isn't this revival something on the South Side?
Oh, I think it's tremendous. I really do. And of course, I worked these White Sox for some 25 years. So you know, Jimmy and Tommy, that I have many, many memories here. As a matter of fact, 40 years ago today, this very day on July 11th, I did the All-Star game here. That was the one that, yep, that the Nationals won 4-3 when Tyner tied it in the 9th with a home run, and Shane Dees broke it up in the 14th, and Williams broke his elbow and all those things. But all in all, a spectacular day. And we could talk for hours about the memories in this ballpark, because boy, Comiskey Park and the White Sox have really done a great job down through the years. They have made such great contributions, and more to come, huh?
All right. What do you think of these uniforms, Jack?
You know, Tommy, I made this observation to Larry Hines, and he confirmed it. I said those pants are not the pants of that day, because the pants in that day were like bloomers. So they tailored the pants a little better, but the shirts are legitimate.
There's the second out of the inning. Lance Johnson making the grab on a ball hit by Hamilton. And
so what Jack is saying is that he was here in 1917.
That was a series, you know, where the White Sox beat the Giants 4-2, 4 games to 2. And that was the one that wound up with Red Faber winning 3 games. And it was such a great thing to see Butcher Boy Joe Benz's son in that car as an honored guest before the game. And also, that was the one where they finally put the series away. That was where Heine Zimmerman chased Eddie Collins of the White Sox across an unguarded home plate, and that did it.
How about that?
Yeah.
Here's the strike one pitch to Spires, misses inside, a ball and a strike. Well, you know, this being the final year of Comiskey Park, while we have an opportunity with Jack Brickhouse with us. Jack, what is your most memorable of all that you've witnessed here at Comiskey Park?
Well, I suppose I'd have to say, Jimmy, the 1959 championship. Watching them win that pennant, because Channel 9 televised all those games that year, and we really had ourselves a season. I can still see Early Wynn winning those 22 games. I can see that outfield with Jimmy Landis chasing him down in center field, and Al Smith and Jimmy Rivera and Sherm Lawler and Klazuski and Nelson Fox and Louis Aparicio, Bubba Smith and guys like that, Bob Shaw, and of course the great Al Lopez, whom we saw last night. And it was just such a marvelous year. Everything went together the way it should. Early Wynn won the Cy Young Award that year, and I teased him a little, Tom. I said, well, I understand the Cy Young won the Early Wynn Award, too. And he came back pretty good. He said, yeah, but he did it with the dead ball.
That's pretty good. There's a pitch hit foul. Spires is up there with a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jim Durham with Tom Pashorek, and Jack Brickhouse has stopped by to visit with us. And Jack, 1959. Boy, how about an opportunistic Bill Veeck? What a time he picked to buy a ball club.
Oh, absolutely. And, of course, one of the great moments I've ever known in my life involved the White Sox and that series, but it was at Los Angeles. There's a high pop fly. All yours, Jimmy. Third baseman takes it foul, and that takes care of that. But that was that game where they had to win it in order to bring it back to Chicago, the 5th game, and they won it 1-0. And before the largest crowd ever to see a game, almost 93,000 people out there in L.A.
Thank you, Jack. 9-3 White Sox as they come to their feet for the 7th inning stretch.
Let's take a look at our Miller Lite scoreboard. for the games of 1917 on this date. Boston over Detroit 1-0. Ty Cobb 0 for 2 with a walk and a hit by pitch by none other than Babe Ruth was 2 for 3 with a triple and a walk in that game. Cleveland beat Washington 3-0. Stan Kovaleski, whom our ballpark is named after in South Bend, was the winning pitcher in that ball game. Tris Speaker 0 for 2. And Bill Wamsgans,
that's easy
stole
for you
home.
to say.
It certainly is in the third inning for Cleveland. Philadelphia over St. Louis 6-1. The Cubs were postponed because of rain in Philadelphia. Jim Durham remembers that one well.
Oh, boy.
And Cincinnati at New York also postponed by rain.
That was the New York Giants, by the way. The Brooklyn Dodgers and the Boston Braves. Chuck Krim, the new pitcher for Milwaukee. And Fisk takes it high. So Navarro was touched for 2 runs, 1 of them earned. And Fisk hits a drive into left center field. That one is going to go through. Vaughn makes the pickup, and Fisk is in with a double.
Oh, Pugsley got the head of the bat on this one. He nailed it in that gap in left center field. So the White Sox, with their 11th hit on the afternoon, Carlton Fisk his first. Drives it up the gap, and that is his 7th double on the season. So Lyons with an opportunity here. Steve is 1 for 3 with an RBI. His job, get him over to third base for the next guy.
And he does it on the right side, so he accomplishes that. The put out is made. Fisk is at third with 1 out.
Good job by Steve Lyons. You can see has made a concerted effort to pull that ball to get Fisk to third. Scotty Fletcher now can drive him in if he can hit a fly ball. Scotty having a great afternoon so far. 3 for 3, double, 2 singles. He has scored 2 runs and driven in 2.
Milwaukee with the infield in.
There's
down
Chuck Krim.
6. They can't. Yeah, there's the line on Chuck Krim so far this year. The situation is grim for Milwaukee right now. Smash! Sheffield has it. And he throws out Fletcher.
Well, that's a good play there by Gary Sheffield. He's playing in. He got the in-between hop, too. That was a bullet. Scotty Fletcher looking at a 4 for 4 with another RBI. Look at it. It's a hard sinker on the hands, but Scotty gets ahead of the bat out. And look at the play by Sheffield. Going to his left, checks the runner, and he's got an easy play at first now. But that just saved a run.
Sosa taps 1 foul. Sammy Sosa's had a big day today. 2 triples. 3 runs batted in, 2 runs scored. He has 9 3-base hits on the season now. He's still second in the American League in that department, but he's moving up fast. One strike the count. Breaking ball outside.
Chuck Krim has been a workhorse for the Brewers the last few years. You can see that 40 appearances already on the season. That 4-point earned run average is much higher than what you would expect. There you see the curveball. Basically a sinker curveball pitcher will work in a changeup and kind of turn that curveball more into a slurve or a slider. But he's not a power pitcher, but he has good stuff. Good movement on all his pitches.
Here's the pitch to Sosa. Popped it up. Shallow left. Spires makes the play. And so the White Sox threaten but don't score in the 7th. But after 7, it is 9-3 White Sox. 7th inning.
There's a Nancy with his with that funky accordion the first.
And that was in the 7th inning. And thank you, boys, for the attendance.
There they are. Well, she can make anything a sing, can't she? That the Nancy Faust.
Absolutely. Gantner up here in the 8th.
She's better than Myron Florin.
You'll let me know when you're finished, right? Strike
hey,
call.
We're winning.
Yeah, 9-3 Sox. 11 hits today for the White Sox. Milwaukee, 3 runs, 7 hits. And the Brewers have committed the game's only error. Jack McDowell, one little mistake there to Yount. He would have a shutout going. Robin Yount's 3-run homer. That's the offense for Milwaukee. Don Paul in the White Sox bullpen. The right-hander. One and two. We talked about Jack McDowell. He has the one complete game. That was on June 13th against the Seattle Mariners. Fly ball. Lance Johnson had him played perfectly, and Gantner is retired. Ken Patterson is the left-hander working in the Chicago bullpen. And there's Plesac on the right. And Randy Vera is the right-hander.
Some new guys on this Brewer team since we last saw them at the start of the season.
Yeah. Sheffield takes it out of the strike zone. And it's outside. Ball 2, no strikes. Sheffield today with a couple of hits has nudged his average up 1 from 315 to 316. Ball 3, no strikes. There's ball 4. Is that right? The first walk today issued by McDowell. To go with 4 strikeouts, and he got those 4 in a span of 2 innings.
Oh, looking at the line on Jack McDowell, I really felt like that first pitch, that split finger he threw to Sheffield, looked like it caught the outside corner. That put Jack in the hole, so he promptly walked Sheffield on 4 pitches. And here's Robin Yount. Robin 2 for 3, and I think it's worth pointing out that he got those 2 pitches on, one on the split finger pitch. He lined it in the left field, pitch around the knees, and the home run he hit was just above the knees. Pitch down. He popped up a high fastball his last time up.
And the first pitch is high to Yount. Sheffield with a stolen base today. In that department, Milwaukee 3 out of 4. That pitch is low, ball 2. And now Sammy Ellis coming out to visit with Jack McDowell. We're in the 8th, 1 out, 1 on. The White Sox with a substantial 6-run lead.
Jack's not missing by too much with those pitches. All of a sudden it appears he's got to throw the ball through a teacup. 121 pitches now for Jack McDowell. But he's battled him. I'll tell you, he's scuffled in those first couple innings. And in the third, it looked like he was on the brink of disaster, but then he really came back strong since then. There you see number 50, Barry Jones, and the left-hander is Scott Radinsky. What'd they do? They voted Barry Jones as the guy who looked best in that 1917 uniform. I don't know if that's an honor or not.
He ran unopposed, I understand.
Yeah.
Yount, the batter.
Who was president in 1917?
You're asking me? There's a strike, 2-1.
Woodrow Wilson?
Okay. Oh, you mean president of the American League? Or do you mean president? President.
That was Kennesaw Landis, wasn't
He
he?
was the commissioner. No.
Oh, oh yeah, he was the commissioner. That's right.
Two and two to Yount. Boy, the food has slowed down to a trickle up here, Tom.
Really
like
is
the other
amazing.
day. Boy, he barely missed inside. Full count.
Not like the other day. You're right.
We had Dutch apple pie from Pennsylvania.
We had 5 pizzas from Connie's.
From not too far away.
Yeah.
We're losing our touch. Yount fouls off the 3-2 pitch.
There's that high fastball again. The one pitch that Robin hasn't been able to catch up with is that fastball above the belt. See what he does here again. There it is again.
Pops it up.
Stay in.
Foul territory. Out of play. Sheffield, the runner at first. A 1 out in the 8th. And Robin Yount with a 3-2 count. White Sox jumped in front today with 4 runs in the first, and then the 3-run homer by Yount was in the third, but the Sox quickly countered with 3 of their own in the bottom half of the inning. And they've added 2 more to take the 9-3 lead. Now a walk to Yount, the second straight walk. And the Brewers with runners at first and second, and now Jeff Torborg is coming out to get Jack McDowell. The left-hander Radinsky being called on to pitch to Dave Parker, and will return to Comiskey Park in a moment.
There's the line on Jack McDowell. He worked 7 1/3 innings, gave up 3 runs, all earned, 7 hits. He walked a couple and struck out 4. He is responsible for the 2 base runners now. So a look at the relief pitcher now is Scott Radinsky, the left-hander, coming on to work to Dave Parker. Brock, also a lefty, will be on deck. So there is Scott. 5-0 on the season with a 2.12 ERA. This is 39th ball game. Has 3 saves. Giving up only 19 hits in 34 innings. 9 runs, walking 18 while striking out 30. So Radinsky on, a couple lefties to face. There's 1 out. Runners at first and second. The Sox with a 9-3 lead here in the 8th.
This is one of the few times when a relief pitcher comes on in the late innings where he has margin for error. That big 6-run lead has to be pretty comforting to him. He misses up high to Parker. Dave Parker was aboard in the third, was thrown out trying to steal. Outside, 2-0. Sheffield the runner at second. Robin Yount the runner at first. 2 walks given up by Jack McDowell, his only 2 in 7 1/3 innings of work. There's the 2-0. Outside, ball 3, no strikes. A few days ago, Radinsky worked a third of an inning against the Orioles. Ball 4. 3 walks have loaded the bases here in the 8th. Now Brock is going back to the dugout. And Rob Deere is going to be the pinch hitter.
Yeah, big strong right-handed hitter right here, Rob Deere. Don Baylor trying to play the percentages here right against lefty. Now it's Jeff Torborg's turn to move. Is he satisfied with Radinsky right now? He just came in and threw 4 consecutive balls. Or does he want to get a right-hander out there? Here comes Sammy.
Well, you get the feeling they're going to allow Radinsky to pitch to Deere. He's probably just checking with him. You know, he hasn't faced him, just to make sure he understands the strengths and weaknesses of Rob Deere. He's got good power, that's for sure.
He's got great power. He's been on the roof here at Comiskey Park. The one thing though about Deere, he's a good low ball hitter. Pitches up he has some trouble with. That's when he strikes out a lot, chasing pitches out of the strike zone. So Deere comes on. He's hitting only 198. 14 homers though. He's a definite power factor. 39 RBIs. 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter so far this season. Pinch hitting for Greg Brock, and he will hit. He will face Radinsky.
Inside, all of a sudden the White Sox pitchers can't find the strike zone. 3 walks have loaded the bases. Radinsky yet to get a call strike. There's a strike, 1-1. In the 8th inning, Milwaukee trying to get close. They're down by 6, but they got 3 on and 1 out. Low, ball 2, strike 1. Sometimes what happens, Tom, when a pitcher is wild, he just tries to lay it in there. You don't want to do that to Rob Deere.
No, you really can't aim the ball. That hurts your control a little bit more.
Inside, 3-1. There's Sheffield, the runner at third. Robin Yount at second. Dave Parker at first. 3 walks here in the inning. 3-1, the count to pinch hitter Rob Deere. Radinsky's pitch, foul back, onto the roof. 3-2.
And he threw that ball right by Rob Deere, who's a good fastball hitter down low. Kind of wish he'd have put that ball in play. I don't think he could have hit it very far or very hard. So there you see it, 3-2, 1 out, bases loaded. Got to throw a strike here.
Inside, that walks in a run. It's a 9-4 ball game. And Jeff Torborg making a return trip to the mound. That's it for Radinsky as we get a new pitcher here. Well, it's the pitching that has let the White Sox down here in this inning. Barry Jones trotting in. No hits yet for Milwaukee, but 4 straight walks have given the Brewers a run here in the 8th.
Yeah, the White Sox pitchers weren't missing by much. Of course, that's little consolation. So it's BJ. Got to throw a strike here, or a lot of strikes.
We'll be back and tell you about Barry Jones, but first let's stop for these messages.
Top of the 8th inning here at Comiskey Park, and the White Sox have made their second pitching change this inning. Barry Jones, the right-hander, comes in for Radinsky. Barry 10-1 with an outstanding 2.08 ERA in 38 ball games. Has 1 save to his credit, given up only 40 hits in 43 1/3 innings. 11 runs. He has struck out 17. Struck out 29 while walking 17. So BJ has got to stop this walking binge that has really hurt the White Sox this inning. 1 run in. It's a 9-4 ball game. 4 consecutive walks.
Here's Vaughn, the batter. There's a strike. Greg Vaughn, 1 hit today, 2 at bats. Hits a ground ball down to third, hops over Ventura. 2 runs are in. And it's a 9-6 game.
This started off looking like an inning-ending double play, and then it hit something right there. Bounces up over Robbins' glove, and he can't make the play. Let's take a look at it. Good sinker there by Barry Jones. A lot of topspin on this ball. As you can see, looked like it hit, the last bounce hit right on the cut between the dirt and the grass. And that's what really hurt. There you see Parker coming across. 9-6. That's an RBI. 2 RBI single.
Now Surhoff, the batter, and he takes a strike. But that bad hop, Tom, that's not what really gets you. It's the 4 walks that preceded it.
No doubt about it.
Milwaukee with a chance to get back in this one. 1 out. BJ Surhoff, the batter. And he hits a line fly into left field, and that drops in and gets away from Lyons. 1 run is being waved around. The second man also comes around. And it's a 1-run lead for the White Sox, a 9-8 game.
Oh boy, good job of hitting here by Surhoff. He takes this good sinker down and away, hard to left field. Lyons, you know, he may have had a play on that ball, but Steve had just not been out there. They may have, Calderon may have been able to make that play, not to bring up an unpleasantry, but you can see right there, Steve kind of backs up on the ball right there at the last. He has not played a whole lot of outfield this season.
It's a double and 2 RBIs. 5 runs in for the Brewers in the 8th. Still only 1 out. Pitch misses low. Darrell Hamilton, the batter. Surhoff, the runner at second. The 4 walks in the 8th have all come home to score. Low. Ball 2, no strikes. Don Paul and Ken Patterson working in the White Sox bullpen. Barry Jones was able to find the strike zone. But a bad hop single by Greg Vaughn that hopped over Ventura's head when it quite possibly could have been an ending double play kept it alive. There's a ground ball on the right side, and that one is through. And coming around to score is Sir Hoff, and this game is tied.
Another look at it shows you the sinker not far away outside. He's able to pull it, find the hole. Surhoff scores easily. We got a tie ball game. Wow.
Who'd have thunk it, huh? Jack McDowell was in the dugout. He had a 6-run lead and a shot at his 6th win. He won't figure in the decision today. 7 1/3 innings for him. 7 hits, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, and 5 runs scored. Radinsky walked 2. They have both scored. He's out at first. Hamilton picked off by Jones.
Hamilton obviously was going to steal right here. You could see him starting to get out there a little bit too far. He was going. Kitty puts a tag on him, and he's the second out here in the 8th.
Now the base is empty. And Spires takes it outside. Spires is 0 for 3 today. The 9th man to bat in the inning. Hit hard but foul. 1-1. What's this game remind you of, Tom? A game that we've worked recently.
In Anaheim.
There you go.
A lot of similarities there.
White Sox were leading big in the late innings. Angels came back, tied it up 9-9. But guess who won 11-9?
Good guys. There you see Don Baylor.
And the White Sox brain trust. Jeff Torborg on the right, Sammy Ellis on the left. Now time is called. There's some debris out on the field, some wrappers blowing around. One and one to Spires. Swing and a miss. A ball and 2 strikes. If Barry Jones gets Spires, the Brewers will have the top of the order in the 9th. He lays off that high pitch. Ball 2, strike 2. Seems like about 20 minutes ago, Gantner flied out to open the inning. I think it was 20 minutes ago.
At least.
Strike 3 call. That ends the 8th. But the Brewers have an inning. They score 6 and draw even. Sox come to bat in the bottom of the 8th in a tie game, 9-9. Well, a rather unusual game on a rather unusual day. Milwaukee with 6 in the 8th to get even. Mike Felder is in left field for the Brewers. And they've got a new first baseman, Rob Deere, who pinch hit. He remains in there to play first. Ozzie Guillen leading off for the White Sox, and a strike call. Chuck Prim, the third pitcher for the Brewers today. Ozzie with a fly ball to left, and Felder is there. One down. That brings up Lance Johnson. He's got a 1-for-4 game working. Doubled and scored the first run of the game in the first inning. Bunts it, but right back to the pitcher. And Prim makes the throw to first to get him. Two quick outs for the White Sox in the 8th.
Yeah, Lance just didn't get it out there. He wants to drag it past the pitcher, but the ball obviously was a little bit more outside, so he didn't get the barrel of the bat on it. He really hit off the end of his bat. So he is out number 2. Robin Ventura now the hitter.
Ball 1. That one missing high. Oh, those walks will come back and get you every time. That's what happened to the White Sox in the top half of this inning. 4 walks, and they all scored.
Yeah, that's very true. 4 in succession. You don't see that very often. And the first 4 of the game for the White Sox pitching staff.
That's right.
There's that slow curveball from Chuck Prim.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Ball 2, strike 2. Ball 3, strike 2. Some of the fans have left the park. The White Sox had the 6-run lead, and folks felt that was safe. Ground ball on the right side. Gantner, what a stop. And he throws out Ventura. The White Sox go down in order in the 8th. This game goes to the 9th, tied at 9. Jim Gantner leads off the 9th with a base hit. So the Brewers have the lead run aboard.
Well, he just jumped all over a pitch from Barry Jones. He likes to get those arms extended. He hit a line shot over Ozzie's head. So let's see what Sheffield's doing right here. He is 2 for 3. He has scored a couple of runs. Let's see if they're bunting. What's the rule of thumb? You play for the win on the road. Well, this is a tie ball game. Go for the big inning or try to get that guy in scoring position for Yount and Parker. See how they do it.
And the Brewers, of course, they like to utilize that team speed. There's a good bunt. Barry Jones over to get it. The sacrifice is accomplished, and Gantner is down there at second. Pretty good job by Sheffield.
Great job by Sheffield. Boy, he deadened that one. He wanted to get it to first base over there, and Barry Jones had to make the play. He wanted Ron Kittle to field the ball. There you see it. Good job right there. BJ makes a good play just to get the one out. So Yount and Parker will have opportunities to drive in this run. There's 1 out in the 9th inning. Dead even at 9. Hits are dead even at 11.
There's a strike. 0-1 to Yount. Yount got the second walk in the 8th inning. from McDowell, and that meant the end of the line for Jack McDowell. But then Radinsky came in and he walked 2. And all 4 of those walks came in to score in the 6-run inning for the Brewers. Good stop by Fisk. 1-1 to Yount. There's Gantner carrying the lead run. Outside. Ball 2, strike 1. Dave Parker on deck. And there is a left-hander in the bullpen for the White Sox. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Jones steps off. Ozzie Guillen was cutting in behind Gantner. Fouled off. 2-2. The Brewers batted around in the 8th to tie the ball game, and now here in the 9th they have a chance at the lead. 2-2, the count to Yount. Parker due up next. A strange turn of events here at Comiskey Park. Outside, ball 3. Milwaukee trying to turn the tables on the White Sox. They have lost 6 in a row to the Sox going back to last year. Inside, ball 4.
Oh, that call right there sure looked like he went from this angle. Take a look at the replay. It's a fastball boring in on the hands of Robin Yount. Mike Riley says he did not go. You be the judge right there.
Said he was trying to turn away from the pitch, evidently.
Yeah.
Get out of the way of it.
It looks a lot better from right there on the second angle from a Brewer standpoint. So here's Parker. 2 runners on.
Parker with a hit and a run scored in this game. And the right-hander Barry Jones is going to pitch to him. Strike called. Dave Parker not happy with that call by home plate umpire Rich Garcia.
Tough to make a living hitting that pitch.
Well, if you left us a while back and have now rejoined us, you've missed quite a turnaround in this game. Milwaukee here in the 9th with runners at first and second. This game is now tied. The White Sox at one time led 9-3. There's a ground ball. Ozzie Guillen has the out at second. Fletcher's relay. Yes! A double play. That gets the White Sox out of it in the 9th. An outstanding defensive play turns the Brewers away. And now all the White Sox need is 1 to win. We'll be back to Comiskey Park with the bottom of the 9th in a moment. Hyundai scoring summary today. A 4-run first for the Sox. A 3-run homer by Yount for Milwaukee in the 3rd. White Sox increased the lead to 7-3 in the bottom of the 3rd. Then jumped it out to 9-3, and then a 6-run 8th by the Brewers. Calderon leads off the 9th and fouls off the first pitch from Chuck Krim. White Sox games are always more enjoyable with a group of friends or colleagues. For more information on special group rates, picnic and patio parties, call the White Sox group sales office at 312-924-1000. Strike two. One and two. Anything you'd like to add to this point, Mr. Pachori?
Need a run. Right here.
Ground ball, Sheffield. Throws out Calderon.
And here's a reminder that the Chi Sox Coca-Cola fan club is open to Sox fans of all ages. Members receive tickets to the Sox games, the Comiskey Columns newsletter, and much more. Plus, the proceeds benefit the Chi Sox Research Fund and Day Hospital in the fight against terminal illness in children. For more information, call the White Sox at 312-924-1000 or stop by your neighborhood Walgreens for an application.
Well, the White Sox have the power part of the order up here in the ninth. Calderon grounds out. Here's Kittle. Fisk is on deck. They got 3 shots here at Chuck Krim to try and win this game. Strike called. Popped up, foul, out of play. 2 strikes on Kittle. That's the way they looked in 1917, huh? 1 and 2. Ball 2, strike 2. Chuck Krim on the mound. He relieved Navarro, who relieved Robinson. Again at Sheffield. This one's foul.
Now Sheffield made that play easy right there because he's guarding the line right now. They want to stay away from an extra base hit. The Brewers do. So they're playing Kittle down the line. So there's a big hole between third and shortstop. As you can see right here, Kitty hits the ball fairly hard, but Sheffield right there because he was standing right next to the line.
Ground ball. Gloved by Spires, and he throws out Kittle. 2 outs for the Sox in the ninth. If they are to win in regulation, Fisk will have to hit one out, or they will have to sustain some kind of a run with 2 outs. Well, I'll tell you, an hour ago, who would have thought it would have come down to this? Looked like the Sox had it on cruise control.
Yep, now they're going to have to fight for it.
Breaking ball in there.
Krim's got good stuff. I'm a bit surprised that his earned run average is way up there. They continue to work him, though. He's got 41 appearances now, counting this game. 6 saves.
Outside, 1-1 to Carlton Fisk. 2 outs, bases empty, bottom of the ninth, game tied at 9. And no quit in Don Baylor's club today either, the way they have come back from that 6-run deficit. Fisk gets under it, lifts a high pop into shallow right center. Hamilton makes the catch, and we're going to extra innings today. White Sox and Brewers all even at 9. Well, we're going to the 10th inning here at Comiskey Park. Milwaukee coming up with a big 6-run 8th inning. And Hamilton's base hit drove in what proved to be the tying run as B.J. Surhoff came around to score. Milwaukee is yet to win in extra innings this year in 6 tries. And the White Sox are 3-4. In extra innings. There's a youngster who is part of a crowd today of 40,666. Turning back the clock. A long time ago, this one started. Well over 3 hours ago. White Sox had a big first inning. And had a big lead, but Milwaukee wiped it out. 4 walks fueled that big inning in the 8th. Rob Deere leads it off. Takes it high, ball 1.
I wonder were the ball games in 1917, were they as long as the ones today? I wonder if they recorded the times.
I don't know, but we have spent a few hours locked in 1917 this afternoon, right?
Dan Fabian tells us, excuse me, Jim, that most of the games were under 2 hours, if you can imagine that.
Well, I would figure when you look, you know, we showed those great pitching statistics earlier.
Sure.
Strike called, 2-1.
Yeah.
Rob Deere, who has a pinch hitter, walked in the 8th and scored. Lifts a high pop, shallow right center, and it's Sosa who makes the catch. One out for the Brewers in the 10th. Mike Felder, the batter, up there for the first time. Strike at the knees.
Rod Dato, the famous baseball coach from University of Southern California, and his son Justin were guests of Larry Himes in Larry's box this afternoon. Special hello to them.
0-2 to Felder.
Rod Dato has won more games than anybody that's ever coached baseball.
Yeah.
Many national titles.
Strike 3 call. Felder, the second out in the 10th.
Good movement on this pitch by Barry Jones. Good sinkage. Look at this. Bang, you're dead right on the corner.
B.J. Surhoff, the last time up there.
Well, that's a nice job of hitting right there. He took the pitcher's pitch right there, down and away, and got himself a double and a couple RBIs.
Now he takes his strike from Barry Jones. Up high, 1-1. Mark Johnson palms out, no swing. Jack McDowell started today for the White Sox. Did a good job, 7 1/3. 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 strikeouts, and 2 walks. And the 2 walks were the final 2 batters he faced. And Scott Radinsky came on in relief. He couldn't find the strike zone. He walked 2. And Barry Jones came in. And he could find the strike zone, but a ball was hit down to third that hopped over Ventura's head, and the floodgates were wide open after that.
Oh, you're right. That looked like it was going to be an inning-ending double play right to Robin Ventura. He made the proper pitch at the right time, but just got a bad break. You have to overcome those things to win ball games, though. But Prim looks like he's throwing the ball very well.
Yeah.
He's tough.
And Barry Jones is throwing it pretty well right now, too.
Right now.
Surhoff hits the ball into left center field. And it's Lyons there to make the catch. Again, it's a 1-2-3 inning. And again, in the bottom of the 10th, all the White Sox need is one for a win. We're tied at 9. Jim Durham with Tom Paciorek at Comiskey Park. The home 10th. The White Sox will have Lyons to lead it off.
And a reminder, a spectacular fireworks show sponsored by Drumstick Ice Cream will follow the White Sox Brewer game on Saturday, July 28th at 6:05. For tickets, call Ticketmaster at 312-559-1212. All done.
A complete game for Tom Paciorek. You knew that. You had it all the way, right?
I knew it was going overtime. Get fair.
Foul ball. Well, let's see. We started today at around 1:35, right?
Yes, sir.
5:04.
Yes, sir. Game has got to end here because, as Dan Fabian pointed out, we don't have any more room on our scoreboard.
Well, and the other thing is we have to get our costumes back by 5:30,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Breaking ball hit right back to the mound, and Prim throws out Lyons.
Well, we didn't want to get out there in that rush hour traffic anyway. Trying to get to the airport.
White Sox in New York tomorrow. And Andy Hawkins, who no-hit them but lost his last time out, pitches for the New York Yankees. Melito Perez scheduled to go for the Sox. Fletcher, the batter, with one out and nobody on, and ball one. Scott Fletcher has been wearing out the Brewers today. 3 hits for him.
You know, his last time up, too, Scotty almost had a base hit which would have driven in the 10th run for the Sox.
Yep. Pops this one up. Rob Deere runs out of room.
And
plenty.
If that ball gets through, we'd all be nodding with a victory. But a good play by Sheffield with the runner at third and one out saved the Brewers a run, and we didn't realize at that point just how important that play was.
One and one to Fletcher. Sosa is on deck. The wind appears to be picking up, blowing straight in. Ground ball to short. Spires long throw, and Fletcher is the second out in the 10th.
There's a look at the shortstop. Billy Spires rounds this ball off, gets himself in good throwing position, as you can see right there, and an easy out. And it's up to Sammy Sosa if we want to go home. Well, I'm not going to say early, but
earlier, right? 2 triples today for Sammy Sosa. 3 runs batted in. He has scored twice, so he's been around the action. Takes a strike. How about this? A 2-out triple by Sosa and then a base hit by Guillen. That would work.
Certainly would.
Swing and a miss. 2 strikes. Both of the 2 pitchers working right now. Chuck Krim for the Brewers and Barry Jones for the White Sox. They got good stuff. Outside. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Sosa strikes out. Sox go in order in the 10th. On to the 11th at Sox Park in a tie game at 9. Well, back here at Comiskey Park, Jim Durham with Tom Pashorek, and it is 1917. You couldn't tell
You
by
certainly
us.
are. What size is that hat, by the way?
Well, it's
About
not quite
9
big enough. It's one of those small ones.
7.5, ladies and gentlemen. So in case anybody ever kids you about having a big head, my partner.
Does.
Hey, what are they doing to our
They're going
scoreboard?
home. They've worked long enough today.
You guys can't quit now.
They're just cleaning it off and getting ready to start the 11th inning out there. And a new pitcher for the White Sox. Ken Patterson, the lefty, ready to work here in the 11th inning.
Ken 1-1, as you can see, with a 4.35 earned run average. 20th ball game this afternoon. Giving up 33 hits in 39 in the 3rd innings. 19 runs. He's walked the same number and he struck out 25. So Ken Patterson on to face the left-handed hitting Darrell Hamilton and Billy Spires and Jim Gantner. So 3 lefties in a row. Jeff Torborg going with the percentages here as we go into the 11th.
All together today, there was a crowd of 40,666. There's not that many here now. Strike to Hamilton. The amazing thing about the 4 walks in the 8th, which got the Brewers back in the game, 2 things. One, they all came in succession, and the other, to that point in time, were the only walks issued by the White Sox pitching all day. 1-1. Out of play, a ball and 2 strikes. Don Baylor has seen a lot today. I wonder if during this time of Tom Trebelhorn's suspension, just think, there's a strike called. The Milwaukee Brewers were down 7-0 the other day and they won 20-7. They were down 9-3 in the 8th inning today and they come back to tie it up.
Amazing. There you see a good curveball by Ken Patterson right on the outside corner. So the leadoff man is out. We're going to have a pinch hitter for Billy Spires. It's Dale Swaim. Swaim, a switch hitter, coming on, making an appearance here. He's hitting 190 for the season. 222 from the right side of the plate, although he has only 27 at bats there. So Dale Swaim, there's a power factor right here, Jim. Swaim, he broke his leg, broke his ankle a couple of years ago, Rez. Not yet recovered from it. Sat out the entire season last year, but he's back.
He takes a strike from Patterson. And the 11th for the White Sox, Ozzie Guillen leads off. Way up high, ball 1, strike 1. 2 balls and a strike. On the next homestand, the Brewers return. The Indians and Brewers will be in on that homestand. Swing and a miss.
Good breaking ball.
Yep.
Dale Swaim hit 25 home runs playing shortstop every day for the Brewers in '87. 95 RBIs. That is great production from a shortstop. There you see his numbers now, but he broke his leg, as we said, in '88. Did not play last year except for the minor leagues.
It's ball 3, strike 2, 1 out and nobody on. Foul ball. Still 3-2. Fan ran out of the stands and picked that ball up, and then almost hurdled the railing, getting back into his seat. Fouled back. In 1917, there were no ball boys.
No. Remember, the guys used to leave their gloves on the field.
That's right.
Just flip them out there in the outfield and get it when you came back. I don't know if you could do that nowadays.
Someone may make off with your glove.
Yes, sir.
That's some high-priced leather out there these days.
Yeah.
Here's the 3-2 again. Swing and a miss. Patterson strikes out Swain. 2 strikeouts.
And
for
he
Ken
just
Patterson.
throws the fastball right on by him. Swaim can't catch up with it, so. And there, oh, you see it, now you don't. And Jim Gantner, the third lefty, well, actually the second lefty out of the threesome that Patterson will face this inning. Hopefully, anyway.
Ball 1.
This guy hits lefties very well. He really hangs in there.
He tops that one. Scotty Fletcher throws him out. Another 1-2-3 inning, and the White Sox again with a chance to win it in the bottom half as we move on to the home 11th, tied at 9. Well, the Milwaukee Brewers have a new pitcher. It's their left-handed ace in the bullpen, Dan Plesac.
And he's a good one. He's got 2 pitches that are pretty much overpowering. We haven't seen Danny since the first series of the season, but he's got an excellent fastball, hard slider. Right now, the shadows are coming into play here at Comiskey Park, so that could have an effect. So Plesac has been the ace of the Brewer staff for many years now, and he's always among the league leaders in saves. One of the main reasons why the Brewers can generally be counted on to contend for that American League East championship. Big guy, 6'4". There's Dale Swaim. He's coming on to play shortstop after he pinch hit for Billy Spires in the top half of this inning. So, plot thickens here. We are in the bottom of the 11th inning, 9-9. Runs and hits are identical. 9 runs, 11 hits, and 1 error for the Brewers, and it's 9-11-0 for the White Sox. So, with a couple of lefties coming up here, actually 3 in a row, Don Baylor goes with Plesac. Plesac, bad numbers for him, certainly. 0-3 with a 5.14 earned run average in 35 games. He does have 14 saves to lead the club, but a lot of hits given up. 37 hits in 35 innings. He has walked 17 while striking out 38. So here's Ozzie
in the 11th. Ball 1. Most of the big leagues are marking time today. There are 3 night games in the American League scheduled, but there was some action off the field today. Jack McKeon resigned as manager of the Padres. There's a foul off to the left, out of play. And the Kansas City Royals place Mark Gubas on the 21-day disabled list, retroactive to June 30th shoulder injury.
Gooby's been hurting all year. You could see it in his delivery. Of course, Jack McKeon taking a page out of Whitey Herzog's book by resigning.
Ozzie Guillen with a hot foul past Sheffield. 1-2. Chuck Krim with a good job out of the bullpen for the Brewers. He worked 5 innings, gave up a hit, picked up a strikeout along the way. Guillen leading off here in the 11th. Swing and a miss. Plesac strikes out Ozzie Guillen.
There you see it. Hard slider. Ozzie does not hang around to see if this thing's going to break, but it is nasty. Down and away. Just a perfect pitch for Plesac. So there's 1 out here in the 11th for the White Sox, and Lance Johnson, the hitter.
Right back at him. And he's aboard. The White Sox have the winning run on.
Boy, Lance jumped all over this first pitch fastball, hit it hard right back at Plesac. Let's take a look at it. Out over the plate, and it may have hit off his